What's up, people? Woo! Happy Labor Day weekend. Almost said Memorial Day. Happy Labor Day weekend. I'm getting my water supplement or my drink mixed up here. Not a non-alcoholic drink, but I am getting this mixed up. Henry is raring to go outside and take my little nighttime deal here. My little nighttime supplement. Love that wheatgrass. No, I don't know what it is. Yeah. All right, we're gonna head out here to the shop. Henry's gonna run around like a wild man. I will get live on the internet. Look at Bill Beckett. How you doing, Mr. Beckett? My friend, my pal, longtime subscriber. Small town auto tech. How you doing? Corey Ute, the Indiana. Look at Bill Beckett. Everybody say hi to Bill Beckett. That's a good fella right there. Biggie Fitz, good feller. Oh yeah, Justin Smith, good feller. Dano, Gilman, Howard. What's up, Howard? Zephiel. No video? Analog CP tonight? Oh no, I'll be on video. Eric, what's up? Work for Tools. Tim Windsor. Hit that. I still need that CP hat. CP. Look at that. Robert from Mac Tools, Louisiana. 40 people in the chat. Wow, you guys just blew right up. Hat tool demo. Steve-O. Look at Steve-O tool demos. All right, fellas, hang on just 1 second. I'm gonna get. I went to a truck pull, so I just got back home. I ran up there. It's not too far out of town. I didn't like it, so I left. I wasn't gonna do a deal. Driller Dave, what's up going on there, Driller Dave? I didn't like it, so I came home. I wasn't exciting, and Henry is excited. He went with me, but he wants to go back outside. I got to take these tools with me. I got some packages that were on the porch. The porch packages. How's it going? From the manure truck. How you doing, Kyle? Jans? Bill Beckett, Dano. Yeah, Bill Beckett, man. Good to see you, Bill. I feel like I've been missing you, Bill. Bill's like been here. Bill, Zephiel, a lot of these guys. Dano. They've been here from the beginning. Good loyal followers, good loyal supporters, good people. Their thumbs ups are invaluable. All you guys that have been here. 52 people in the chat, and I haven't even showed my face. Hold on a second. Henry, I'm coming, buddy. I'm coming. Just calm yourself. He is flipping out. Flipping out. Henry is flipping out. I understand, Bill. I've been falling asleep early, too. This is later than I want to be doing a live stream. Trust me. Let me get this. Let me try not to cover this camera up. Hold on a second. I gotta jump in the ride. I'm here, fellas. I had a porch full of packages when I got home. I had a porch full of packages, so. What's up, Dustin? Gotta gather all this stuff up in one handful. I know, I'm fumbling the camera around, guys. I apologize. Well, there goes Henry. Running like the devil. Beautiful night here. Lights, camera, action. It is warm in here. Oh, I'm gonna turn the old fan on here in a second. CP from the Love Shack. What's up, Impact Rated? Henry 3R. What's going on? Henry! Speaking of Henry. Henry! Henry, my dog. There he is. Come on over here. Come on over here. Yeah. He's not going to come over. What do you think, buddy? All right, fellas. Let's do this, huh? 53 people in the chat, y'all. Larry Borstrom's in the house. Woo! Henry, get over here. You just want to chase rabbits. That's all he wants to do. Chase them rabbits. Let's see if I can get this camera set up a little bit nicer. I'm using my tablet because, gosh darn it, I can see. Oh, he's rolling around in the grass. There we go. Full roll around. Oh, yeah, that's not good. Oh, 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 yeah. That's going to do it. Amen. I have so many. Jim Bob. You changed your name again, Jim Bob. Works for tools. Let me see if I can clean this camera off a little bit. It's looking smudged, isn't it? Let me see. Oh yeah, that's definitely better. Look at that. Now you guys get to see all this sexiness. 2000 Fishing the Beauty. Hey, what's up, brother? How you been? From across the pond. What is going on? 2000 MCR. Hit that like button. Jim Bob. Larry Borstrom. Bill Beckett. Fishing the Beauty. Henry Thear. Congrats on your weight loss. Yeah. We're not there yet, fellas. I debated about even saying anything about that. You know, for me, 35 pounds is like losing 5 pounds for an average man. You know, 35 pounds is a long ways from where I'm going to be. But I'm feeling better, and the doctor is very pleased. And, you know, we're pretty good. Chef Shade Tree. Hey, did you get your other package, Chef? That thing should have been there by now. I'm a little bit worried. What was wrong with the truck pull? Was it ex-girlfriend? No. It was, you know what, guys? I'm just tired of seeing all these guys with these diesels. Man, anybody just tired of diesel people? I mean, like, I just get tired of seeing these guys with these brand new trucks. I mean, I'm not saying I don't hate a diesel. I just hate these guys that come out there with their 2021, 2022 trucks. It was just a full tractor pull of all these. Farmers aren't like they used to be. Well, that's not good. Yeah, that's not good at all. Progress is progress, yeah. Well, you guys will see a big difference in a couple months. So, eventually I will be getting the surgery. My goal is to try to lose 100 pounds on my own and then get the surgery. And because, I mean, I've fought at this for this long. Unfortunately, people will say it's taking the easy road, but it's not. I have to get a mindset, and most people only lose like 20, 30 pounds to get the surgery. But I made a commitment to my doctor and me that I was going to lose 100 pounds, and it's going good. So, literally shopping JD Tico when your stream pops up. What's up? Hey, Dustin, thank you. Man, I'm a little bit. Exactly. M. Lizer, I do prefer. I do have a video coming out of my tractor pulls. I'm going to try to post that out. And hopefully you guys are having a Memorial Day, a good Memorial Day out there because, it's awesome. And if anybody would like to join the stream tonight, we're going to have a Labor Day party. 6 people. Just let me know if you want to come on. 6 people. I will send you a link. So I just got off work today in LA because I don't really have anything planned for tonight other than answering your guys' questions and really giving you guys the whole deal. So in about 30 minutes or so, after letting everybody come in, we'll definitely send out some links to have some people on. So all the truck pulls with Daddy's Trust Fund, absolutely. Yeah, it ain't like it's it's the same truck over and over. Who can put the most money into it? Guys, people think that I'm really bougie and I throw a lot of good tools out there, but that's not. I'm an average dude. Like, I like being an average middle of the road type guy. So just got off work this hot day in LA, Carl. Hot Carl. I saw it. I had to. You just said it was a hot day in LA and your name's Carl, so get over here, you stinker. And he's really loving being out there. Trunk back Jim. Yeah, trunk back. I definitely try to work my ass off. That's and there's a freaking ton of bugs in here. I got to turn the fan on, I think. Thank you, trunk back Jim. Dr. Jack Cruz, look him up. That's all. It's all about light. I don't know what that means, Steve Jobs. Hit that like button. Thank you. It's just been, I got a lot going on. Like button engaged. Thank you, Tool Demos. Hello from Central Wisconsin. Tool Demos, if you want to come on, let me know, buddy. We'll shoot you a link. I don't know if you're settled down or in an area where you can, but Greasy Shop Rag. Scott, how you doing, brother? What's up with the Classic Car Tech in LA? I was actually, there was not, but I just posted that picture up because I thought it was funny when carburetor guys a lot of times think about what they think about fuel injection. So that's awesome, man. Hey, Carl, I love it. I love hearing from a guy. What's your favorite carburetor? Larry Croft, you old devil, you. Thank you for your deal. I got that. I just seen it today. I apologize. I don't check that much, and I'll message you. Larry Croft. See, I did not see your short today. What did I miss out on? Chef Shade Tree. Chef did a short today.
Okay, going to test out my new Sebum half drive impact gun. Gonna do some lug nuts, see what this thing does. It says it's got 320 foot-pounds of torque. Can you see that? There's 320 foot-pounds of torque. See what this thing does.
I'll let you guys watch the conclusion over on Chef's channel when you get to it. I'm gonna check that out later. So, what's your initial thoughts, Chef? Steve, how's Florida? I refueled all kinds of carbs. Yeah. What's up, all my dudes? Yeah. Hello. Jimmy likes to work it. Hello, truck driver man, Larry Borgstrom. Look at all these good people in here, man. I love you guys, man. I really do. You guys, I'll tell you what. I was like, man, do I even want to come on live tonight? But you guys reaffirm me every time I get here that you guys are definitely worth coming on for, because you guys are all kind to each other. And I really do appreciate that. There's no crap talking about other people. I love just the positivity you guys give out. You guys give out positive vibes, and that's really awesome. So, give yourself a great big hand. Bill Beckett, Larry Croft, Dano, Chef Shade Tree. Look at all that. Jimmy, Zephyl, Biggie. You guys are all the real deal. Real deal. My favorite carb bill is a standard BNS. It's because I pretty much understand it. Hey, Bill, my favorite card's old school Alpha Weber carb. Interesting. I personally like quadrujets. Me and dudes with wrenches were talking about this. Quadrujets they've always been hugely underrated because I think people don't understand them. Not only that, they don't like the fact that they don't deliver a bunch of power off the hit. And they're big, huge. But as far as a driving carburetor, for an everyday driver carburetor, I like the Quadrojet because it gets good fuel mileage and it delivers a bunch of power. Those vacuums, those secondaries when they open, they just. Paul Mendenhall, what's up, Paul? How you doing, brother? But yeah, you tell me. Hey, small town machine shop, what's going on, Adam? How you doing, brother? Channel members, all the green guys here. Look at all these channel members. Some of these guys have numbers by their name where they've been here for almost a year now. So huge shout out to you guys for supporting my channel. I don't have a Patreon. I don't do any of that stuff like the other guys do. Patreons do generate more money for the YouTube creator, and everything you guys do help me out. It's a small token of your gesture. I appreciate it. I try to give you guys content. I know the content's been a little bit lacking, but yeah. Well, so far so good. I was expecting failure, but it busted a 3/4 to cunt. Hey, I'll be honest with you, Chef. I picked up another one, another Impact because I was curious about that one, and so I picked up another one. And for $150, I'm curious. I'm going to use it. I want to see. You just don't see enough on, like, I know the Torque Test channel did videos on that stuff, but I want to see the longevity. And not only that, there's some compactability. But the sad part about it is Milwaukee's in China. DeWalt built some stuff in China. I'm telling you what, right now, these motors are all coming out of the same factory. And and there's so many different names on Amazon. Now, that being said, are they all powerful? No, but there's got to be some gems in the rough. You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be a few gems in the rough. So I don't know if that Savum was. It was $80 Impact. But the jump pack that you're getting should be it should be. It was expensive. It was not cheap. It was over $100. But I'm a little bit concerned to why that's not there. So yeah. Yeah, factory Q-Jet, aftermarket Eldebrow, Carter. There you go. Carbs are so underrated. Carl, you're not wrong. Carl, you're not wrong. There is definitely that 762 starred ship. And look at that. Dudes with Wrenches shows up, and there he is. I say his name, and he's like a genie in the bottle. Jimmy, my man, Carters have always been reliable, in my opinion. Yeah. They're just, the tunability of them is the one thing. I'm a fuel injected guy. I like the fact that I can go from Iowa to Colorado. I don't have to play with it. Starting it up every morning is just boom. So fuel injection has its place. Carburetors are definitely not terrible, but you have to be very diligent with carburetors and or have a good mechanic. Alan Kaufman, the Iowa sensation. What do you think, Henry? He's just laying on the floor. Henry is just laying on the floor. He's already wore out. It's about time to cut the hair off, guys. I don't know that I'm going to continue to keep this going on. K-Dog, what's up, brother, man? Hello, K-Dog. Look at that. Hey, dudes. Dudes with wrenches. He's famous now. Dudes with wrenches here. Oh, yeah. Dudes. What are my thoughts on the new Hercules 1,400-pound breakaway? I think me and Torque Test Channel both agreed that it's although it's only $100 cheaper than a Milwaukee, I just don't know that I trust Harbor Freight with a tool for the money. And not, I think it was a little bit heavier, but honestly, for the money, I think I would buy. If you're looking for something, I really don't. I mean, it's not a terrible tool. That's the thing is that it's not a terrible tool. I guess that's my overall view. Is it a crappy tool? No, you're getting a 5-year warranty on the tool, which the tool is pretty much irrelevant to me. I don't think the tool is going to break, so I don't really think it matters. And there's so much hype on YouTube when a new tool comes out from Harbor Freight. It's the easiest content in the world to make and get views on it because it's got a huge following of people that cult following, and I mean, and the separation between the Snap-on haters and the Harbor Freight guys, that's what kills me the most. No different than the Milwaukee guys. The three worst people on the internet are the Harbor Freight guys, the Milwaukee guys, and the Snap-on lovers. And I say that, and people still will be like, "Oh, you're a Snap-on guy." Well, there's a Mac tool flag right there. I mean, there's a Snap-on flag over here, but those are the three worst groups of people. They are the easiest to get triggered, offended, and quite frankly, people don't understand that I don't care. I don't care. I really don't care. I have tools from all different varieties and brands. Whether it's Mac or Cornwell or whatever. I don't care. I don't care what tool you have. All I care about is the best bang for your buck. I think the Hercules at $100 is stretching. I think you would just be better off buying a Milwaukee, honestly. For $100, there's just not enough there for an established tool. I love my Milwaukee. I got the mini one. It works great for what I do. Absolutely. Des Moines conquers the elegance. I don't know what that means, 2000 MCR. Full mullet, trim the sides and rock it. Yeah, I definitely need another trim. Not a CP, just here to bullshit with y'all. Hey, that's fine by me. Whatever you want to do, brother. How's it going? Codes Tools, finally able to catch a live. Tommy C, you got me convinced the other day and make it Air Tools great again. There you go. Honestly, somebody made there were some definite salty comments from some people in there. In fact, let's just go through and read the comments. While we're on live, let's read some comments. How about that? Let's just go to that. Let's go to that particular video, because let's see here. Cordless versus air. We've got 83 comments, and let's go through here and see what we got. As always, great points. The compressor is one giant battery that will forever work. The air tool from every manufacturer effectively lasts forever as well. No comparison. Only downside for a homeowner is you want a big compressor, you need a super long hose, you're still limited where you can work. There's obviously pros and cons. Then we had tool demos who came out with a great one. CP is right. For those who are starting careers in a shop, air is free. The shop provides a compressor, save your money. A Taiwan Impact or a used Impact will work for years. Get your hands on a hard line and Diag tools first, and then your funds will buy the greatest stuff. And that's just it. That's just absolutely it. Let's see here if I can find some salty ones. I try not to like one. Torque Test Channel made a great comment too. Let's see if I can find some salty ones. There was only like 5 or 6 salty ones. That's about par for the course. Like button Torque. Some peckerwood out there is going to say he doesn't have to worry about the bottom of his battery rusting out like this neglected HFT air compressor did. Let's see here. I personally like having both. By Matt Lenz. CP, here we go. Here's one. CP, I have to disagree with you. Before I got my Milwaukee ratchet and impacts, I would just end up breaking bolts by hand to avoid having to get compressor ready and getting out the hose. Now I just grab the tool and I'm ready to rock. I use a high RPM M12 ratchets more than any other tool now. I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that statement, but I still disagree with the logic. Like, people, you're trying to say that being lazy is okay, and grabbing an air hose is really a moot point. Like, you're talking about minimal, like, that's not enough. There's not enough time loss in that to calculate. Significant time loss would be using a hand ratchet versus using a cordless ratchet or an impact. So if you're spinning tires off with a 4-way lug wrench versus using an impact, there's clearly a big difference. But grabbing a hose, you're talking about less than 30 seconds of time. So 75 crazy tool freaks in here. Yeah, batteries die before tools. Exactly. And that's the biggest thing for me is that the shelf life of these batteries is only 3 years. I've never lost an air tool in less than 3 years. And I don't know why people, some of the comments were like, air tools break. Let me see if I can find one. I heard Milwaukee soldering irons trash. All right, here we go. No limit range, no waiting on the air compressor to build up, no smashed hands, no air tool oil, no hearing damage, better power, a lot of times bragging rights. First of all, air tools are definitely more powerful than cordless. I'm sorry, but anybody that thinks that cordless tools are more powerful, when you go to weight to power ratio and price, they lose every time, every single time. Most air ratchets have up to 80 foot-pounds of legit torque. And the only reason people they've got newer technology than some of the people had said, but yeah, bragging rights, no air hose to trip over, no air hose to clean up afterwards. I kind of get it. You're in a shop, you already has air, but if you have to reel in a hose by a compressor, you may as well get battery powered. The whole point of the video though was to show that it's price, that it absolutely is smarter and more budget friendly, because 90% of the comments that complain on my channel always have to do with cost. I don't care what tool brand it is. I don't care what it is. 90% of the complaints that I get are all about price. What's coming out of your wallet? How much does it cost? And it's just, personally, I think it's foolish to think like that, but it is what it is. So let's get caught up here in the comments. Snapper or the corn dog. Makita blue all the way. Don't you mess with my tools, CP. My tools are the only ones I have. Holy shit, the Destroyer 1320 with a $20 hauler. Thank you, Destroyer. You are the man. I've been missing some of your Tuesdays. I've been busy. I'm hoping when the winter comes here, I'll have more time to spend on YouTube. And, that'll be fun because you have the best live streams on Tuesday. I still use a speed handle. There you go. I still love my air tools. Old school. Yep. Serve it up. Just supporting those who deserve it. Thank you, Destroyer. Appreciate you, brother. You're awesome. You definitely are the man. Congrats on passing your 4,000. Hoping to see you at the end of September here down at the burnout contest that you're putting on, that you're sponsoring. I love my 20-year. I had to rebuild it one time in 10 years. Carl, that's exactly it. Dudes with I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm here. You guys see me now? I lost internet connection for some reason. Don't know why. Lost internet connection. Free downtown car show on the 11th. Perfect. 2000 MCR. Definitely. Thank you. I will check that out. I'm only on my third rigid impact now. The guy, if he has to wait for an air compressor build up, has obviously never had a bigger compressor. Amen to that, Chef Shade Tree. It's a tool thing. What's up, brother? Buy the tools to make money. Cost, buy the tool. Cost over time to replace the tool. Destroyer 1320. My TI is more powerful than a 2767. Amen to that. Anyone ever use an Easy Red 44S12L? Yeah. I don't really like those, man. They break. Strenuous way, oftentimes a good old ratchet. There you go. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, dudes. Think about the investment in air tools. I water my lawn with a cordless hose. I'm here for the tool freak. Torque that like button. All right, we caught up here. Good again, good again. Perfect. I've worn out quite a few air impacts over the years, but they're still less expensive. How many air impacts have you worn out? I still have. I still have my original, and it works. My AW434, which is the Thunder gun, it still works fine, which I keep oil in it and everything. But this thing's got some miles on it. This thing's no spring chicken. I mean, I pulled off a lot of tires with this thing, throwing it around, throwing it across the shop. I rebuilt it personally once. Henry, I rebuilt it personally once. That's only because I thought it was down on power, and it cost me $11 to rebuild it. That's the other thing is I can fix an air tool. I literally can buy parts for cheap. That's the other cool thing. Damn it, CP, we had to look at your mug the whole minute. Sending positive vibes your way. Thank you, Hands On Mechanical. Appreciate that. Frosty the Iceman, what's up, brother? No, actually, it was my fault because I didn't have my long range Wi-Fi plugged into this tablet. That was my fault. But Mediacom definitely has their issues. There you go, the Thunder gun. The shortest span was my Aircat, 1.5 years old every day. I honestly, I could see that. I have one Aircat tool, and yeah, I don't know. People talk about them. There's some people love them. I'm not sold on them. I'm sold on the IR stuff. The IR titanium, 30 years still works. It's paid for yourself. You damn straight. I know there's a bunch of young guys out there going, oh, this is like a bunch of boomers talking, but hey, the facts are facts. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love a cordless tool. This thing is definitely awesome, but this gem right here with a good swivel on it. This has been my go-to for so long. What is this? The 2112 IR. And the best part about it is you never have to adjust the trigger on it. This was the one I used. I've used this thing forever. I still like using it. The sound of it, the way she just gets her done is just an awesome, awesome unit. And they're about the same weight, but look at the size difference. Look at the size difference. People talk about being compact. There is a whole 2 inches difference there. When I want to do brake stuff, now granted, we can always move right into this guy, and this thing's a hammer. Whoa. Obviously, we're getting another huge difference. This thing is awesome. I love this versus buying one of the cordless ones. Henry, there's really no comparison. Better hang these up. And I got these air tools on the side of my cart for a reason. The air tool holder on the side of my cart's there for a reason. Because I still like to grab my air tools. So, anyways, I got a Mac gun like that with a strange green coating on it. They had some weird deals going on. Do I have any vintage stubby ratchets? No. I don't have any vintage. I do have a new smoke machine that's very impressive. I really like this. This has been really awesome. I can't wait. Henry, get over here. Picked up one of those IR inch, $30. Seems too old to run. Can't wait to actually find something to try on it. Yeah, dude. That's the other thing is picking up used air tools right now because people are just so foolish and getting rid of them. Dude, you can pick up awesome tools right now. Less noise for less the noise now. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. The cordless ones are nice. They're still the decibel range on the cordless ones. I mean, when you start getting the bolts rattling, they're still not quiet. I get I get tired. The hammering on the bolts, Jimmy. That's gotta make some difference for you too. I don't like that. Corey, there you go. At the end of the day, that's exactly what it's all about. I'm in love with the new Astro Nano guns now. Both, oh, dude, those are awesome too. Absolutely, Frosty. The Astro Nanos, dude, that thing is a hammer. That little impact like that. That thing is just a beast. Uh, Ever had to add heat sink to ignition coil module on a distributor? Heat sink. Ever had to add heat shrink to an ignition coil module? I can't say that I honestly have. I'd be lying if I said I did. Which do you like better, Astro, Flexit, or Capri Flex? I've never tried the Astro, but I will tell you this: they're pretty much the same tool. They're being built out of the same factory. So and I think Torque Test Channel talked about that. They tore down the internals of a Capri, and it's the exact same impact. And I only run the 3/8, so I think the half inch has got a little more boost to it. Definitely the Fluke. I think I just talked about this in my. I'll bet you. Let me grab my snap on. Let me grab the old snappy real quick. I'll bet it's dead. I'll bet $100 it's dead. If it's not dead, oh, if it's not dead, it'll be close to being dead. And it doesn't give a battery meter on it neither. That's the other thing that pisses me off. It doesn't give you an indication until it's dead, which pisses me off. But yeah, and I've been using this one pretty frequently. But I also have a Mac one. I don't have a Fluke one, and that's why I bought the Snap-on one. But honestly, if I had my choice again, I would have bought a Fluke 88. Called it a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just better meter. Let's see here. Where's my Mac one at? My Mac one is my backup. Hold on here. Let me get you guys squared around here. Woo, we're changing directions so I can look through my Cornwall cart. This is my diagnostic cart. I keep all my electrical stuff in this cart here. And I have a Mac meter somewhere in here, I swear to God. Where the hell is my Mac meter at? Oh, here it is. Ha! Ding dong, it was right up one drawer above. So I have the Mac meter, the EM721. And this is really not a bad meter for the money. Does everything, millivolts, hertz, temperatures, AC, DC. And the backlight display is pretty robust. So, yeah. This is my backup right now. We have some new tools too. I should have brought the prototype ones that I was testing out, but I have some new tools that I haven't showed. 91 people, 91 peepers in the chat. Yep, fluke. I'll give a fluke. Yep, fluke. Absolutely. Never heard of a triplet. Fluke, fluke. There you go. Yeah, I'm guessing that's what he's talking about. Anyone tried the new DeWalt half-inch high torque? I have not yet, but I'd like to get it. Pasty white stuff for module. Oh, yeah, I remember that on the old 3/8. Driller Dave, dude. You all, dude. Are you kidding me right now, Driller Dave? Freaking unbelievable. Holy shit, man. $49.99. Super chat, Driller Dave. Man. That's crazy, man. That's awesome. I appreciate that so much, man. It's you don't understand. That's awesome, man. I can't. You guys, Destroyer. Man, absolutely. You guys are amazing. Henry's trying to. I don't know what to say, man. I just don't know what to say. I appreciate that, man. You've been a really good subscriber. I know that you come into my live chats and you don't make them to every one of them, but man, that is freaking awesome. I appreciate that. Yep, I remember that white stuff. I used to call it mayonnaise, module mayonnaise. Fluke is kind of hard to beat for an electronic mirror. Absolutely. I had Mr. Started with an H. Oh my God, none of the teachers are there. Gone. Scott Orkin was my one teacher. Now he's the director at DMAC. What was Mr. Why can't I think of his name? Started with an H. Man, Heinrichs. Was that right? No. Why can't I think of the name? I got to text my buddy. DMAC Auto Instructors. We just talked about this. Yeah, that's what I called it. Module mayonnaise. No. Keith Wersinger was there. Now that he's not there anymore. God, what was his name? It was started with an H. Love the DeWalt Max XR, tough as nails. Go ahead and bring on the heat haters. There you go, Dustin. Chevy also had the heats. Yeah, on the 3/8 they had that. Nick Pixel, what's up, brother? Driller Dave, thank you, Impact Rated. Appreciate that. Hello, CP. What's up, Rob? 2112YZ. I like my Klein meter too. Yep. Nope, I have not seen a triplet. Let's look it up. Never seen it. I honestly, the best meters on the planet are Flukes, hands down. Triplet. Oh, these are old analog meters. You're talking about analog meters. Wow, you're talking about way back in the day stuff. Long before the modern technology took over. Harbor Freight meter, yeah. Nice one, Driller Dave. Thank you, 762 Starship. What's up, Country Mile? Hey, Theo, how you doing? Tool demos. Best hose pick from Snap-on if you were only to have... Oh, I would definitely get the Lyle ones. They're pretty much the same. They actually, Lyle pretty much makes them for Snap-on. Truck Club. Keith is awesome. Absolutely. Why can't I think of his name? I'll have to chilling out a little tonight. Hell yeah. Triplet is out of New Hampshire. You mean free one at Harbor Freight is junk? I actually keep that one in my glove compartment. No joke. Lyle hose spoons. I did. Yeah. The Lyle hose. Jimmy, what's a Lyle hose spoon? Hey, let's just stop for a second and recognize Jimmy has a hose spoon. Are you guys reading this right here? Look, are you reading this? Can I blow this up? Jimmy has a Lyle hoe spoon. What is a hoe spoon, Jimmy? Can you tell me what a hoe spoon is? I gotta know what a hoe spoon is. Ah, man. Oh, don't forget the Mayhew ones too. Mayhews are nice picks. They're pretty applicable to the Snap-on ones. I've had these old Snap-on hose picks forever. I definitely, if I was going to get one though, this guy right here, the Lyle ones, which are the same as these and a hell of a lot cheaper. These are definitely. I think that's what Jimmy was talking about. Not a hose spoon. I need a hose spoon too. I have the Mac ones, and I have I have a Mac hose. I seriously want to make a full video about a hose spoon now. I seriously want to make a full video about a hose spoon. Jimmy, you just killed it. These are essentially the Lyle ones. They're Mac, but I like this long one and that short one, which I already had a snap on, but I bought the kit from Mac. I think they got a short. I got too much shit, fellas. Not even gonna lie to you. I got a new toolbox that's supposed to be coming some millennial. But I think I have a set of small hose spoons too. Henry, what are you doing underneath that truck over there, boy? Yes, I do have a set of small hose spoons. Here's the small hose spoons, the Mac ones, which are the Lyle ones. Save yourself a ton of money. I got these on a BOGO, but these I haven't used these at all. But these are the Mac hose spoons. Oh, I just love it. The hose spoons. The hose spoons. These are handy. Handy as all get out. Awesome tool. Best invention over a pick ever. These were better than the picks. The picks have their place, but the hose spoons. Oh, I can't even. You gotta love autocorrect. You just gotta love autocorrect. Let's see where we got off here. Jimmy's got the hose spoons. Oh, dude. Now my buddy at his shop, he always fights that. Derek, that's not And unfortunately enough, because I work for myself and I pretty much do whatever I want, I have a whole different set of rules. Come on, little feller. Stop chasing them rabbits. I have a whole different set of rules, Derek, so I don't live by the laws of a normal mechanic. I've budgeted my life to where I can live off of $3,000 a month, and that's good. Henry, that's not YouTube money neither. Although people think YouTube is easy, it's definitely not. When you can factor in putting up with all the negativity and the trolls and the pandering and the people who just want to. I don't know why people watch your channel. I don't know. I still don't understand the mental disability that people have that watch channels that if you don't like somebody. I mean, like, I enjoy watching, like, Chef Shade Tree because he's always got a different perspective. He flies off the handle a little bit. So do I. I understand. You know, you get tired of listening to people run their mouth. There's so many people on the social media platforms now. This is the way of the world now. I'm a Gen Xer, and I grew up, and I understand the differences now is you just can't do that. But I grew up is if you came over running your mouth and disrespected somebody, you got smoked. That's all there was to it. And now with the internet, we hide behind the keyboard, run our mouths. Even people have hate streams. I call them just old hate streams where they just sit there and talk crap. And because I think there's no repercussion, but I'll tell you what, you got to remember there's always repercussion. No matter what, karma will come and get you. Maybe you'll get your head split open because of karma. And that's what happens. So they're hell to the they're a good tool. Is Lyle part number 304? Yeah, I believe so. I'd like a hoe spoon. I need one of those. I'm a little behind here, guys. I apologize. I have a Matco F-inch drive, bus 20, loosened torque, 455 pounds. There you go. Dan Runheim in construction work. Cordless nail guns suck. Hitachi, Makita, pass load, DeWalt, doesn't matter. They're all terrible. I actually had a Dan. That's funny you bring that up because there's a guy that his daddy owns a his daddy owns a bunch of rental properties and he's a property managing specialist and clearly he doesn't work. He just looks on the internet and talks to people all the time. But he claimed that cordless nail guns are the shit. So it's funny that you say that, Dan. Pass loads are great when they work. My buddy learned the hard way to leave drawers open, especially when the upper ones. My YouTube is the only I enjoy watching. My neighbor was an engineer for Triplet. You really need to know the great history behind Triplet. I'll check it out, Chef. Everyone smash that like button. Head CP the gun addict. Not seen that guy in a minute. Yeah, CP the average plinker. People think a technician is easy. Also, but my friend have businesses and they're at least 20 grand in our parking lot, unpaid finished jobs. Derek, that's definitely, I've seen that's actually cost people their businesses. There's so many people out there that complain. I mean, I've heard it all in my life. I'll be honest with you. Let me turn this thing on. I didn't say run away, Henry. You little sucker. Little sucker. Little son of a gun. Yeah, I definitely understand that, Derek. 100%. Just got this bad boy in the mail. Pretty stoked to check this out too. Whatever could it be? CP, why whatever could it be? CP, why whatever could it be? Let's see what it is. See if I can show you guys or not. Oh yeah, I can. Hell yeah. About all I'm going to give away to this right now. I believe this is probably going to be one of my new go-tos. I need I'm like king of this mini stuff. Pretty awesome, actually. I got to charge this up. We also got some new we got some new other tools too. I can't show you these because then it'll give away the video. But we got some new other tools. And I know that people just want to copycat. But unfortunately, I have a strong relationship with this company. And I pretty much do a lot of their tool testing. So I have to hold on until they tell me it's okay. I see cordless getting in more industrial tools. I think they'll get better as the battery. Absolutely. Driller Dave, 100% correct. You're not wrong there. Cordless tools will evolve. The problem is they need to be more, they need to streamline still. The technology has came a long ways. A lot of you guys know the cordless tools from 2000s to now. 22 years is an incredible advancements they've had in cordless tool technology. There's no doubt about it, Driller Dave. There's absolutely no doubt about it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You are 100% spot on. My dad knew the owners, and they got invented the first meter. I use core drill for cutting concrete. Milwaukee has a cordless one. Batteries are 1,000. I'll pass. That's it. Like I said, it's been a while. Anyone use a Chapman screwdriver kit? No, I have not. I use it like, what's up, Hot Rod Dave? Man, this guy was out trucking in the middle of Atlanta the other day. What a stud muffin. Hot Rod Dave, you're my hero. I know how it feels to drive a truck through the city, and Atlanta, definitely nothing. It was terrible. Bought a Fluke when triplets because, well, they were made here, so we supported them. Did Fluke actually have an analog meter back then? Jeff? Have you tried the Thor Impact? What are your thoughts on the Big Nasty and the Astro Tools? Love the Astro Tools. Yes, I've tried the Thor Impact. I thought it wasn't bad. There was a comment. Somebody said they didn't like the ergonomics. It's got a 2-stage trigger in the comment section for the air tools. But honestly, I think it's more, okay. Once again, I'm a huge gun guy. Okay. I shoot a lot, and I've shot multiple firearms. And this is almost like driving a car. The more you use a tool, like I have a new air hammer, and I've used this one forever. Okay. This is my go-to air hammer, and I have a new air hammer, and it's hard to get used to. No different than going from my old air ratchet to a cordless air ratchet. It's an acquired taste, I think. So, and Big Nasty is 100% a beast. So, but is it the tool that I would get right off the bat? Probably not. Big Nasty is a tool for big nasty jobs. It implies what the name is. It tracks the history of OBD2 for intermittent problems. No, this is not a Matco. This is another company. And 2-piece set in my cart would be perfect. Oh, wow. I use Chapman bit ratchets. Oh, Dwayne V, the Chapman bit ratchets. Yes. Freaking Armin. Superbike Armin had those. Those were, I actually do have, my buddy has one of those. Yeah, those are really nice. USA made, really expensive. Ghetto. ATL traffic is hell. There you go. My first meter was an analog. My first meter was a Sun. Adam, are any air tools lifetime warranties? Yes. Actually, when Mac came out with these, and they did have tools that were lifetime warranty. Wow, Chapman Manufacturing is at the end of my street. That's crazy. I've had a fluke meter for someone of 25 years. Yes, I have the Matco one too, and I love it, Paul. Absolutely. I will definitely. You know what, Chef? How about you do a video on the triplet? Like, I would do a video on it, but why don't you give it a shot? I'd like to hear you do a different type of video. And since you're so passionate about it and you know so much about it, that's like a great video to make, man. You probably have some stuff out there. Like, that sounds like a fantastic video to hear about. Absolutely. Nothing better than an analog meter reading motor winding cable faults. There you go. Yeah, I mean, I personally would, because I think it makes a little bit more power, but it also takes if you have the air power to give it to it, that's the thing. So, and I think it's cheaper too. When I was young, you used to use rocks to count the voltage from the sky. Oh man. Benjamin Franklin. Oh, I thought you were talking about the department store, Benjamin Franklin. Yes, he did. Armin is Armin is a very Armin is a great man. Like, he is a very kind, generous person, not judgmental, but has a really fine taste. And like, there's nobody that I've met on YouTube that is more of a unique individual with just an absolute. He's just an awesome person in general. I want to meet him. Midnight Road Garage. Love the California electric car short. The Brondo drinking. Love that short, man. I don't think I commented on it, but it played on my deal. So yeah, I'm so glad to have Armin as a friend. He's a great guy, and I definitely want to go to meet him. I actually want to drive to meet him. I will say that I have a plan in mind to do something this winter that's going to definitely set me out on a journey. So I just had a plan to lose some weight, get a little bit healthier. Thanks for the content. Yeah. Researching for AC machine. Any recommendations? Robin Air all the way. And whatever you're getting. Like, what are you getting? You want a 1, 2, 3, 4 YF? Well, I hit the like button. I think I was like seven of likes. I was like one of 7 likes on there. But you know what, Midnight? You can't win them all. I mean, I got videos that fly through the roof. You know, I got live streams that come in here. Some nights there's 60 people. Tonight we've had over 100. Oh shit. CP, look at your damn phone. I think that would be a great video for you to make, Chef. I think honestly, like, you can't have, you got to title that the history of the multimeter too. You know what I mean? Like, don't title that the best multimeter. Well, I mean, you could put the best multimeter in the world, but don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, Paul Hallen. Damn it, you got me. That is Top Don 800 BT scanner. Yes, it is, Paul. Absolutely, Biggie. You're damn straight. Yeah. Yes, Armin has an RC fetish. Absolutely. Life is like a Lyle hose spoon. You never know what you're gonna get. Oh, the Lyle hose spoon. Oh my God, that is the greatest thing that was said tonight. R34 for lighting. Yeah, definitely the Robin Air. Yeah, Corey Bremer. Oh yeah, dude, that was fantastic. Damn, Dave, I wished I lived closer to you. I need another one. I just swallowed a bug. Henry's looking at me like, "What's wrong with you?" It's down. I ate it. That's protein. Oh my God. Cousin Cletus, what's up? Shout stuff with Cletus. Benjamin Axis. Shop Air has been looking to get half. I think it's crawling around in there. Ugh. So many bugs tonight. Where are you going, Henry? Harbor Freight Labor Day sale, 20% off. That means they'll sponsor this video. Speaking of our sponsor, this week's sponsor is going to be Johnson's Baby Oil. The shea and coconut butter will help all of the haters become soft and gentle. The best multimeter in Iowa. Stuff with Cletus. Yeah, dude. I tell you what, the other one I really liked was this little Kawif one. This thing is pretty handy. I've used this. I've been dragging this little guy around too. This thing's been pretty handy too. Gotta tell you, AC/DC, another good meter, just for some quick stuff. Throw her on the voltage here. Nice little digital deal. It reads out right here. See if we can put a. Let's see if we can put a. Hey!
All right. What's going on, Mr. CP?
Not much, brother. How you doing? I'm sorry I didn't even see your message because I was getting too busy talking and whatnot, and yeah. So
got
anyway.
A lot of people here today.
Yeah, you came on at the right time because it's hopping now. This is prime time now. So, well, are you in Utah still?
I'm in Idaho right now. I'm in Post Falls, Idaho, which is just across the border from where the house used to be. It's still there. It's just not my house anymore.
Right.
And this is it's my in-laws' house. So I'm staying here until tomorrow, and I actually get on a plane. So some of the plans have changed, but we're there. So I'm pretty excited about it.
I caught your message, but I've been busy, man. I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and I was sad to hear that I couldn't catch you to have a steak, whatnot. But for you guys that don't know, I'm going to let Steve introduce himself and talk about his channel for a second, if you don't mind, so that you can kind of spread the word out. This guy is one of the best. He's definitely one of the most underrated tool channels on YouTube, as far as just being a knowledgeable guy, very, very smart. And you're not technically a mechanic by trade. Now you are, right?
Well, I'm hoping to, yeah. So I share a similar background as CP. I am a truck driver. I work for FedEx, and I've been doing that for a long time now. And by the way, I'm in a backyard here in Idaho. I'm hoping that my cell phone signal is good enough so you can hear me.
That's beautiful.
So my tool truck experiences are actually when Snap-on comes to the fleet shop, or if I'm there in the yard, that's my Snap-on guy, that's my Mac guy.
Right.
And so I didn't have people coming over to my shop, but hopefully I can get into that and get a little bit more full time and get some tool trucks coming in to see me at my shop. I think that would be pretty cool.
That would be fantastic. Now, Your channel's tool demos. If somebody would like, I would like to see anybody put a link in there for me for tool demos channels. I know one of you guys are a lot quicker than me doing that while I'm talking here, so I'd appreciate if somebody hammer that out for me. Look at this. We got Chaka Gill in here. Ryobi tools are trash.
All day, every day.
Chaka Gillis is the most consistent person in the entire YouTube. This guy does not deviate from his plan. Like that, I don't care who you talk about. You can talk about Mr. Beast. You can talk about anybody you want. Chaka Gillis is the most consistent. He has been saying this for all 4 years. I started watching automotive YouTube 5 years ago when I decided to make this leap. And Chaka Gillis, I remember seeing him on other channels doing this $2 super chat. Ryobi tools are trash. So yeah, damn it.
And man, just today I've got a story about that. So I've been hearing Chaka Gillis. I've seen him on the live streams and everything today. So the girls are already in Florida. They went there. They left about a week ago, and they got there a couple days ago. And here in Idaho, we got rid of my gas lawnmower. It's a Honda. It's a good mower, but we didn't put it in the truck. So Mrs. S, my wife, goes down to the Home Depot and picks up a green lawnmower, Ryobi. So we're going to try that out. It's the cordless lawnmower. You don't have to worry about cold starts, but I hope it isn't trash.
Well, the thing about it is a lot of people don't know is the Milwaukee rep that's around here. I get along with him pretty good. And he's I don't get anything from him, but I like bullshitting with him and whatnot. And the Ryobi One Plus tools use the same exact motors as the Milwaukees. Not the same hammer systems as the impacts and whatnot, but their electric motors are the exact identical same as a Ryobi One Plus. Not the Ryobi, but the One Plus. So
TTI, if you own TTI and you had a bunch of parts in the bin, I think you'd probably do the same thing.
I mean, it's no different than what Stanley does. I mean, everybody's doing the same thing. I mean, a fart's a fart. It all stinks. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get one that's, that you have one that it's the same as every one of them, So that's the thing is people get all bound up about tool brands and whatnot. Well, hell, I've heard guys fighting about, Gear Wrench and Matco, and they're the same tool. Or, Snap-on being the same as a Lang. I mean, obviously you got to know your stuff before you start going into that type of boxing match. So yeah, it's all Chinese, orange, green, red. TTI owns them all, right? There you go. But Steve has a channel called Tool Demos. Jimmy Lakin, yard tools. Ryobi yard tools are awesome. Jimmy likes to work it.
Right on.
I wish we could have Jimmy on here. This would be a great live stream then for some really knowledgeable people here. But Steve has a channel called Tool Demos. Every Monday morning, they were getting posted videos, which I'm guessing you're going to continue that segment, keep going every Monday morning.
Yeah, I've got them every other Monday right now because I've got nothing. I'm here at my in-laws' house, so I've kind of spread them out. I've got a few in the queue ready to go because of this move. I'm hoping to get back to every Monday, as I get settled in.
Always tips and tricks. The visor one I remember was a pretty was definitely something I don't think about doing, but honestly, those little things are huge to a lot of people. I mean, simple people doing a simple fix like that. That's what I love about your channel is you're definitely honing in on those little things. I think about trying to do those, and I'm always like, man, that's so stupid. Nobody knows. Everybody knows how to do that.
Right.
Wrong. I got to remember that common sense isn't so common now.
And I think for every one mechanic, there's 10 DIYers out there, and a lot of people, they don't have experience or training, and a simple video on, I've got one coming up for just doing a belt and a tensioner, but if you haven't seen it done before, you don't know.
Yep. I absolutely agree. The Ryobi, I used to run a Ryobi printing press, 2-color. I had a Ryobi fishing reel when I was a kid. It was a piece of junk. Lots of opinion. I have some Ryobi, and besides battery failure, the tools have been good. There's good and bad experiences. Chaka Gillis, on the other hand, absolutely does not want nothing to do with Ryobi, and
No.
I definitely can appreciate his audacity to continue his quest.
Well, on
So
my channel, I do auto and automotive tools and automotive repair. What do you think about a Ryobi lawnmower review? Do you think that would be something people would want
absolutely,
to watch?
absolutely, dude. That's actually, here's the thing about this tool thing is I'm kind of stuck in this genre, and I don't hate it because I got a lot of good people. Obviously, it's not going to ever probably be the biggest stuff on YouTube. That's the problem. I'm so limited on the market. But when you start venturing out into tools where you're talking about lawn tools, now you've literally opened the door to hundreds of millions of people. You know, I mean, like you're talking about in every American that owns a house.
Right.
Versus you're not condensing it down to a market where it's just mechanics. And that's the big thing about this tool stuff is like I realized last year, honestly, that I needed to expand my horizon, and that's why I wanted to start doing some truck repair stuff and or old truck restoration. I wanted to do something that I wanted to enjoy, but not something that was the same as a lot of other people. I mean, there's 1,000 of those reviews out there. Don't get me wrong, but once you get a following from people, the sky's the limit. You know, I mean, that's the thing is, and so it's kind of, YouTube's a game. That's all there is to it. It's a game of chess. Like, you keep continuing to find ways to try to figure out how to win, and it's just a game. That's all it is.
Oh yeah. It's weird what some people will watch and what they won't. Like some videos, I'm like, oh man, I spent so much time on it. I'm really proud of that one, and nobody cares.
Yeah.
And then
No.
some of them are so dumb, and they get 1,000,000 views.
Yeah. Well, you had a lot of success with your shorts, didn't you?
Yeah, most of the views on my channel come from that. And I've got, I don't know the number, but it's probably about 6 or 7 million shorts views on there.
And I'm sure you felt the shorts pain, like like you can't put out a real video and get views on it, and it definitely,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
No,
And
not like
see,
that.
yeah, and I think there's been some bigger YouTubers that have made comments about the shorts, and they're like, if these guys are coming to them now, they've got 300,000 subscribers. I mean, there's tons of people that are getting a bunch of subscribers. Don't get me wrong, that's great, but subscriber count has definitely not meant anything on YouTube anymore because of shorts. It's definitely which it never really did. I mean, that's the thing about it is it never really did make a hill of beans difference. Other than you get 100,000, you get a play button.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't even subscribe to channels anymore. It just comes up on my feed. If I watch their stuff, it just comes up anyway. So it's
yeah,
sort of a waste.
and I don't mean to dog on anybody. I'm not trying to like be negative towards anybody that's using shorts to build their channel. That's fine to get subscribers. I mean, Dudes with Wrenches, he's had great, massive success with his lately, and it's great. But you have to build in order to build a sustainable something that's going to generate interest. I think long video formats are still the play. I don't know. And in shorts payments, I mean, I got one that's got, I don't know how many, it's over 100,000 views on a short. It doesn't pay out anything. Those
No,
views, they don't,
it's got to be
they
in the
don't,
millions. Yeah.
they don't, they don't translate to anything. It's not, and it's like TikTok. So anyways, I don't want to lose a bunch of people talking about YouTube because it's really limited, another limited audience. And we're here for the subscribers. But the content that you make as far as using the tools, everything, you're very knowledgeable, and I think you get it. So you obviously buy Snap-on. What is something that made you decide to buy better quality tools as being a guy that was fixing your own stuff?
Yeah. So from the beginning, this is back in the 90s. I've never bought a toolbox for myself, but when I was 18, my parents got me my first toolbox. It was a Craftsman, like a roll cart, smaller. I think it's like a 7-drawer.
Uh-huh.
But for me, that was fantastic. It's awesome. Like I didn't have enough tools to fill it up at the time. But for me, and probably for you back in those days, Craftsman was good stuff. It was USA made. Not, and I knew it wasn't professional quality, but it was something that I was proud of having in my toolbox.
Right.
And move into the 2000s, you start breaking tools, you go into the Sears, and the guy or gal that's there, they don't care. They just want you gone. I'm like, I just need this socket. And they're like, well, we have a whole set of sockets, but I can't give you this one that you broke because I can't break up. And it just got super annoying.
Yep.
And then, when Sears kind of went downhill and they sold out and it went to China, I was done. I was completely done. I have a bad, I don't want to make anyone mad here, but I felt really bad about Craftsman. I didn't want them in my toolbox anymore. I was just totally done. So I thought, I'm going professional, and I looked at everything. I looked at SK, and Proto, and then the big four, the tool truck brands. And the thought in my head at the time was, which one of these companies is most likely to stay in business until I'm dead? You know what I mean? And I didn't think it was Matco or Mac, maybe Cornwell, some of the industrial brands, but they don't have like a wide selection of what I was looking for. And I just landed on Snap-on because they've got the 100-year history. They've got such a gigantic catalog. It's obvious that they're investing in R&D and they're always coming out with new stuff. And yeah, I get it. They're expensive, but for me, this is for me only. Once I've spent that money and I've been using that tool for a month or two, I forget about the money. It's gone. I've moved on to new things, and I've got the tool basically forever because it's a lifetime thing for me. And so that's why I made that choice. It's expensive, but I really enjoy using it.
That's a great explanation, and honestly, I can't say that I don't disagree with that. Like, that's kind of what pushed me. So I started off in 1999 as a mechanic working at a small shop, a small gas station, full service gas station, an Amoco. I started off working at Amoco, and I went to school and I bought SK because it was the most affordable and whatnot. But at the same time, I did the same thing, going to Craftsman, and I went to Sears. And, I get that same vibe from Harbor Freight now. That's what really annoyed me. So then I found out about Harbor Freight after I kind of bought some SK and some, Craftsman, and I went to Harbor Freight, and it was clear on the other side of town. So it kind of became a really hassle for me. But I went in there and basically went like this, took my hand up on the shelf and just started scooping stuff into the cart back then. And I'm not even joking you. You used to be able to go into Harbor Freight and spend $100 and get a whole shopping cart full of tools. I came back home and absolutely destroyed everything. Everything that I owned from them, I destroyed. And it was all lifetime guaranteed. I went to go take some back. I actually got a piece of shrapnel in my eye from breaking a Pittsburgh socket that exploded on me. And, of course, this was 20 plus years ago now. So they've changed the formula of how they make those sockets. So a lot of people now are like, oh, I never had a problem with Pittsburgh sockets. Well, you don't have Pittsburgh sockets that were 20 years ago. You don't understand. But same situation. I went in there and they're like, oh, we can't break up this set. We'll have to wait till we have something. There was a lot of, and not only that, the employee turnover. So you weren't going in there to get the same person every time. So every person had a different, they followed different standards of what the company was. That's another thing that I found. So, it could be Lisa was in there working and you'd know her, and then she would quit and somebody else would come in, and then they would be all corporated up. Not only that, this happens on the tool truck too, guys. So not that it's not in any corporate store, but same situation. They would just basically, piss you off to the point till you were just starting to get mad. And then they would finally give in and give you your tool. And that was just like annoying to me. And then my Mac guy was my guy. That's why I went with Mac tools, because every time I break something, he'd be like, oh, no problem. No problem. No problem. I mean, it was so simple. Granted, the convenience was definitely better, but tools weren't near the price difference that they are now, neither, I don't think, 20 years ago. I don't know if you've noticed that fluctuation. I mean, obviously, Snap-on has gotten extremely expensive, but they're also building, in most aspects, a better quality tool in so many aspects. Where some of these guys are, where these Chinese tools are getting made with a 1 or 2 man process, Snap-on has a dozen guys that are putting their hands on that tool. and that's a dozen miles that have to be feed. So you're going to obviously incur a more expensive cost. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you the Snap-on story from my father-in-law if you have a minute. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back in the day, he's a master carpenter, but back before that, he worked in an auto body shop in Las Vegas, and he bought Snap-on tools, and he had a Snap-on guy come over. This was in the early 80s, and this guy says, "I'm about to take a trip. I need this. I need to sell this toolbox. It's like an 8-drawer roll cart back in the 80s, with the script writing Snap-on." And he says, "I'll give you a discount on this thing." And my father-in-law says, "You know what? I don't have it in my budget. I can't buy it, but I'd really like that toolbox, just not right now." But right now is when he needed to do it to make this trip. It was like a trip to Hawaii that Snap-on was giving him if he sold one more box. So he says, "I'll tell you what, I got this coin. I'll flip a coin. Heads, you buy the box. Tails, I give you the box." And so my father-in-law says, "Yeah, I'll take that bet." Flips it up in the air, catches it, boom, it's tails. So he got a free Snap-on box. So cool. And it's the one that you've seen, if you watch my channel, it's the one that you see in the videos right next to my Craftsman box. So like I said, I've never bought a box. He's never bought a box. It's kind of funny. But we're getting kind of full. So I think in the next year or so, I'm going to be in the market for one because, man, my drawers are just, it looks like mountains. I can't organize. It's hard to find stuff now.
Yeah, this is, I've been so busy. I'm not even going to lie to you. It's embarrassing in here because I've been throwing parts boxes and there's shit everywhere. And I got to get cleaned up for winter because, I've been able to, I obviously don't close my door when I'm in the summertime. And you probably don't either when you were in your shop, but
Nope.
And I've been working out of shops too, but I order parts directly into my place if I've got to go to another shop and do something. And yeah, it's been it's a mess. It's an absolute. And now that I get tools in, I got boxes of tools, boxes of tools, stuff that I haven't even done videos on yet. It's crazy. Like it's crazy that YouTube is a lot of work. That a lot of extra work when you're already busy.
Man.
So and trying to keep up. I throw tools in the toolbox because I come home and just plop them in there, and I'm like, it's 6, 7 o'clock. I've been working since 7 this morning, and I just don't want to put away tools, but I need to go through and organize. I need to hire another guy. Is what I need to do. I need to hire another person. I really do.
Hey, hire a guy that can be an assistant and a cameraman.
Yes, that would be amazing, honestly. But I don't have the money to do that. That's the problem. That's the real problem. Is I'm not generating. I probably need to. I need a lot of things. I need to do a lot of things. I need a bigger shop. I need a lot of things, but I just don't have the time for it to put down for it yet. I'm more focused on me right now, so that's kind of what I'm going for. Like, I think I need to focus on getting myself healthy, and then the rest will fall in place, as it comes. But and YouTube,
I'm rooting for you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, YouTube is still. Thanks, I appreciate that. The YouTube is still just a pipe dream. It's not. As much, I get decent views on videos, but it takes, I've said this a million times, it takes 10 million views a year to make money on YouTube. And that's like, people don't understand. I'm not generating big revenue. The super chats definitely help out for me for the time. But when I'm pumping out videos, I've got 20 hours a week in it, and I don't even do great editing. Like you do great editing. How long does it take you for a Monday video that you're going to put out? Just out of curiosity, how long does it take you to crank out that video?
So after filming, let's say the average 10-minute video, 10 minutes. Yeah. Huh? So I'm not even counting the filming. Just a 10-minute video, I'll spend 3 hours, sometimes maybe even more if I'm really going hard with, high quality.
Yep.
That's a lot of work for 10 minutes,
Well, and time is money. I mean, and in mechanics world, my problem is my mindset is if I've got to put 3 hours into a video, that I need to get return on that by making what I make per hour on a car.
Yeah.
And YouTube just doesn't. It's not that simple. You know, I'm not Erico. I'm not Rayman Ray. I'm not any of these channels that are getting, when they get 100,000 views on a video, they're making $2,000. You know, or $1,000, or you know, even let's say $500-600. They're getting a decent wage for doing that. You know, and I'm not complaining about this. Don't get me wrong, because I know the haters are watching me, and that's what they'll just hang on every little thing they can, which it is what it is. But the reality of it is it's not. I enjoy doing this, and that's pretty much the only gratification I get out of this at the big aspect. So, sometimes I get a little bit of money in the month, and I can buy some tools, and I enjoy that. I get to work with some companies. That's been really cool. That's probably the biggest satisfaction is getting to work with companies that I do. They send me stuff to test, and I don't have to make videos on it, but I get to use it and see how it works and talk with them and work with them. And I like that. I really do like that. I mean, that's the off-camera stuff that I can't show people is really like the legwork that I do and I don't just use it myself. I take it to other technicians and let them use it here locally. And I mean, I've got tools spread out all over the city. And it's really cool because I get to meet some guys I never got to meet. I walk into random shops and I'm like, hey, how you doing? I got this new tool. Do you have some technicians that might be interested in using this? And they're like, well, hell yeah, we do. What mechanic ever turns down a tool? And then I tell them what it is, and there's no strings attached. And they're like, you're serious? I'm like, no, you can keep it when you're done. All you got to do is give me some feedback, you know? And it works out. It works great. It works awesome. I love doing that. I really do, because I build this relationship with people, and I'd love to do it on a bigger scale and help, you know, like share with other people. But the shipping cost when I'm not making anything for this is obviously, you know, that's a big expense when you start shipping things out to people and trying to get returns, and it's just a mess. So, yeah.
Yeah, like Torque Test channel. I know you've got one tool that they reviewed, and they're in California, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah. And they pay for the shipping. That's why it's cool. So I didn't pay for the shipping, but they paid for the shipping. That's the cool thing about Torque Test channel is that I can send them off something, and they'll if they're going to do a video on it, they'll pay for the shipping. And otherwise, I did send a tool off to them that I didn't get. Actually, they did my Mac this air hammer, because I swore it had more power than the Snap-on. But
yeah, I know your channel name is top of mind for a lot of the bigger companies. I've seen it, so I can tell that you're doing the legwork behind the scenes, talking to the people, and you know, trying to get tools that you can show to your audience.
It's really hard. That's the biggest thing is it's really hard to get tools, new tools all the time. I don't want to keep continuing to spend. That's my biggest problem is I spent way more money, and when my tax person told me, they said, look, CP, like you're not making anything on this, and you're actually spending twice as much as what you're getting in return. Yeah. And I said, I understand that. And they're like, no, you don't understand that. You're wasting, like, and I'm like, no, I'm not, because I get to use the tools. And they're like, well, can't you scale it back a little bit? You know, my accountant. And I'm like, listen, my accountant is one of my friend's wives, and you know, they've been super helpful with me because I'm not the greatest with money. I've always had one checkbook, one checking account, one savings account. And when you're running a business, that's not good. You're supposed to keep them separate.
Oh yeah.
And I keep it all up here in my head. I wouldn't say that I'm not great with money, but I'm pretty good, actually, because they're like, how do you do that? Well, I just have a memory like a steel trap. I don't forget anything. And that's the hardest thing about any business is keeping your finances. And granted, I didn't spend so much money that I was going bankrupt, but I was also spending money sometimes buying stuff that I really didn't need to buy. I didn't necessarily need the tool. But I always justify it with it's better to have and not need than need and not have. And there's a couple things like I don't need 12 screwdriver sets, you know. So that's I'd planned on making big videos with them and stuff like that, but I didn't have time to. Dude, putting together those videos like Torque Test Channel does. Obviously, you just said you got 3 hours. People don't understand how much time people have in some of these videos doing freaking those testing videos. These big channels have 8 hours sometimes into doing these. I mean, there's a lot of time involved with doing them, and it's not just as simple. Testing 6 different impacts on a video, like Client Graphics, what he does, I guarantee you he has a full day of videoing that to do some of those videos. So
yeah, and it's funny, I'll get, you know, a check from YouTube or whatever, and I'm like, oh cool, I can buy a camera, or I can buy a computer to do editing, or I'm gonna buy this tool so I can give it away to my people during a live stream.
That is that's always a good aspect. And not only that, yeah, there you go, you just said it, camera equipment. So every time I think I'm done buying equipment, I decide that well, my phone went bad, and that was after 2 years of frying it on using it for YouTube.
Yeah.
And then lights, tripods, you know, all this stuff. It adds up. It adds up. I bought a new laptop last year, which has been okay. I've actually streamlined my editing down to just this tablet now. I figured out I've gotten that down to my tablet, and I'm planning on doing some better editing, but time is of the essence, you know. That's just my problem.
I've seen you over the last 6 months. You've been trying different editing techniques, I've noticed.
Yep.
And it's like you'll try it for a few weeks, and then you're like, okay, then you're going to try something else. And I can see that, but I don't know. It's because I'm like in that mode. I can see what people are doing.
Absolutely. When you're doing YouTube, you definitely, and you're serious about doing it. That's what I like about you. You're serious about doing it. You get it. You know, like we can have a conversation about this. You get it. And that's, you know, you want to build quality content for your subscribers. That's what it's all about, you guys. I mean, like sitting here, I'm watching the chats, and the guys are in here talking. Sounds like a good cat, Larry. I mean, at the end of the day, without the people in the chat, this doesn't happen. You know,
absolutely.
You know, I mean, that's the biggest thing, and I am always focused on that. I'm always focused on making something interesting or better. I see somebody's video. I watch a lot. I'll be honest with you. I watch a lot of overland camping videos, and their editing. Some of these guys do is absolutely stellar. The one thing that kills me about editing that I can't come over is when people do the ones. So they actually run down the road, set the camera up, run back up the road, and or like, you know, I mean, like that just is so insane to me. Like you go through the effort, like people don't respect that that are watching the video. They don't understand that, but these people are actually taking. And I know you've done it too. Like I watched your last video where you leaving, and your camera was in the building, and you walked out, and you closed the door, and shut the lights, and shut the door. Then you have to come back in and get the camera.
Yeah, it's not still there.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't just follow you. There's no cameraman to follow you. You know, like some of these other channels got. So you're doing all of that production work on your own, which is really cool. I currently use. That's a good question though. What do you use, Steve?
I can't read it. Let me get out the specs here.
Oh, what kind of cameras do you use?
Okay, so I have a Sony Handycam. It's a 4K that I honestly don't use all that often. I find that everything else is on iPhone, so I'm using 4K video on my iPhone. It's an iPhone 13, but I can get this little iPhone into some crazy, you know, tight spots where I can't even fit my hand in there sometimes. But you know, I can get some good shots just with this. So really, when I get my editing computer, I'm going to be using this iPhone with an external mic and editing, you know, just importing everything onto the computer. because really, I think the video quality is fantastic. And like I said, it's smaller. So, and we talking about production and stuff. I've got some videos where, a 10-second clip of me doing this one thing with a thermostat or something like that. It took me like 30 minutes to set that up, trying to get the right angle and everything, and doing it just so I can get it right on camera. But I think it's worth it because when people see that, I see their comments saying like, wow, this is like the best video I saw on that.
It definitely makes a difference. And that's my biggest bugaboo, or my problem is that's why that's why I came home and excuse me. That's why I came home to work out of my shop and do videos here, was because of distractions. It is the more people that you add into an environment, the more hostile it gets for videoing. You got people wanting to play music, you got people cussing, all that stuff, and it's absolutely, it's just impossible to film. Trust me. Not only that, when you're trying to work on a customer's car, like Jimmy making it work has obviously the perfect setup in his environment for what he does, but he does a ton of editing too. So I'm imagining he's cutting out a lot of stuff too because of things that you are out of your control. But it is absolutely some of these guys like Eric O. He has his own small shop. He has that environment controlled. He owns a shop area and the people that work there, and he's got music control. He's got control over all that stuff. And people don't appreciate that. I don't say respect it, but people don't appreciate those kinds of things. It's not as easy as it looks. That's the thing.
Or the dog walks by, or someone comes by and says, "Hey, are you filming? What's going on? What are you doing?"
Larry,
it's kind of cool though here in Post Falls. So, like I mentioned, I'm at my in-laws' house. Their Toyota had a clanking problem, underneath, and so it needed stabilizer links. And I decided to do a video here, like in the home shop with, dude, I had a bottle jack to lift the car. It was super, super low budget for the tools. But the cool thing is my father-in-law helped me. So he was in there with the wrench, getting this thing off. And I was the cameraman. So it was super, super easy to film. I got all the exact angles that I wanted. So that's coming out pretty soon. But it's kind of neat because we work together. So I like doing that. And then just the flow of it was pretty cool.
Hot Rod Dave, I understand because I did those derby car races, and the more, like I said, the more people you put into an environment, the more hostile it is. It's an art form to learn how to make videos and edit them, and there's guys that they filmed at it. I hate to get onto YouTube topics, guys. I know I said I didn't want to do this, but it's hard for me. I will say this. I'm sorry for not talking about some tool stuff, guys, but it's hard for me to find guys that are on the same level. That's the biggest problem I have. Like there's not a lot of people that when I talk to them, like Dave gets it. He's obviously making quality videos. Dudes with Wrenches gets it. There's a lot of guys that get it. When you're making videos on YouTube, it's really a lot more work than what people understand. It really is. For me, a 10-minute video, this is real life for me. A 10-minute video takes me over an hour and a half to film and edit and bring into life just for a 10-minute video. And people are like, all you do is sit in front of a camera and talk. If you think it's that easy, like I said, and I think Jeff Shadtree is even finding that out now too. Like you have storage issues with videos and, like there's all sorts of dilemmas that you come across. It's not just as simple as filming. It just isn't. That's all there is to it. But yeah.
And if you lose the 5-minute segment where you had that one thing that you had to show people and it's gone, oh man, then your whole thing is kaput.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's cool that we can. I don't know anyone in my personal circle that cares. You know what I mean? So it's cool to be able to talk to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And Nick Pixel. Like I tried to get a bunch of people on board at one time, and that just went completely south because I was on a different level of trying to expand. And it's just like any business out there, guys. And this is. I hope that the passion for this, everybody wants to do good. And I'm not the greatest business. I'm not the best mechanic. I'm not the greatest video maker. But in everything you do in life, when you give it 110%, you're going to get results. I don't care what you do. You can be the most, not the smartest man on the planet. And I'm not the smartest man on the planet, but you can be a complete goober. If you think you're a goober, you can be a complete goober. If you put 110% into something, I've seen it happen. I've seen people that have literally put 110%. I've heard about YouTubers that have done videos, and they said, look, man, if you give me 110%, I will make your channel a success. It's a creativeness. It's a passion. Everything you do in life has to be passionate when you get into doing something. You can't just, give it a quarter throttle and think, I'm going to cruise on to this. That's not how it works. You have to be passionate about it. You have to be wanting it. You have to want to learn it. And that's exactly why me and Steve are talking like this, because I think this is definitely, it's awesome. I definitely appreciate doing this. Like this is the stuff I like talking about when I'm talking about YouTube.
For me, this is like auto repair, and I like flipping cars. It's been a hobby for me for a long time, and I like doing that. It's like something I look forward to on the weekends or after work. And my main job, I'm an absolute expert in that. I know what I'm doing, but I don't care. It's just my job. So when I bring it on YouTube, the car or the tool stuff, this is my passion. I totally dig it. So if I don't see a paycheck from it, I don't care. I just like doing it, and I like helping people and talking about it. How else am I going to meet people like you and other people on YouTube? This is super cool. I like the community of it.
Absolutely. Zip tie. We got a celebrity in the house, old Peg. And he has a, talk about a guy that has a unique style of filming and editing and all his stuff. I mean, that guy puts in more work than probably a lot of people that I know that people don't understand, because he has to sometimes drive into town to edit. He goes through all sorts of extraordinary lengths. Like this guy, he's underappreciated in my opinion. Guy that's been on YouTube as long as him. But let's see here. Impact just bought her daughter from my Corolla. Princess Jamie just popping in. I haven't seen her forever.
Jamie's in the house. Back from California yet?
Yeah. I have a passion for my job in the military. No passion for YouTube other than to meet like-minded people around the U.S. and sometimes the world. Hell yeah. I honestly do not have the patience nor the talent to make it. Dude, it's not for everybody. It really isn't. Corollas are great. Quick Wrench, what's up, brother? It's not easy. It's not hard. Peg, thanks for stopping by, brother, man. Really enjoyed the last video he did. Not the most PG friendly guy, but he's good, dude. I'm looking forward to his dragging his event, Miles of Mayhem. Looking to see that video come out soon. That's been done for a week now, and I'm sure he's still working on editing that video. So
he's got to drive somewhere that has internet just to upload it.
Peg has also. He talks about it on his videos. I talked to him a little bit. I don't know that we're really close personal friends, but he's a good dude. I like him. He's got like Matt, Diesel Creek. A lot of those guys are buddies, And Peg's a smart guy. His brother or his cousin has an awesome channel that does some awesome. You want to talk about a guy that you want to watch tool demos? Spruce Stomper. That's Peg's cousin. He does a lot of editing, and I don't know how he uploads or whatnot and how his internet works, but he does some I really enjoy watching his videos. We've got a pterodactyl that flew in. What locust shit?
I just have a moth fly by my face, and I'm sitting here trying to bat it away.
Watch this. I'm going to snatch this locust right out of the air. Get over here.
So my wife was in the backyard there in Florida today. She's mowing, and there's something going on, and she calls the next door neighbor, a 16-year-old, really cool kid, real helpful. He comes over and says, yeah, you got snakes back there, because the grass has been growing super long. This house has been vacant for a couple months. And she says, nope, that's a husband problem. So it looks like as soon as I get there tomorrow, I'm going to be taking care of some snakes.
That's not good. That's one thing. You're. I think we talked about this before briefly, but you decided to move to Florida. Florida.
I don't have an answer for that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't even ask you, so I don't know why you're talking.
Always listening.
I tell you. I know you decided to move to Florida. Did you say that you're moving to Florida?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to say too much. I know people. You know how many weirdos there are on YouTube. They'll track you down. And they'll send you stuff. So Florida, I think that's probably the best place to move to right now in the country. I mean, if I ain't planning on moving, I'll be honest with you. I don't have any need to move. I hate the winters here, but I think the best bet for me would be to move or to leave during the winter versus moving, because I like Iowa. I like the fact that there's nobody here, and the technology is, people don't understand it, but the technology here is really ramped up. So I have a lot of options to move into the country here in Iowa and still have good internet, which is because of the farmers here. They've actually, yeah. Oh, look at that. She's moving to Alabama. I would love to. Yeah, absolutely.
No more Texas.
Nathan, Florida. That's the only cool thing about living in Florida is there's so much activity around there to get with YouTubers. I mean, obviously, I'd like to be.
Yeah.
I'd like to go see Cletus, stuff with Cletus McFarland, and go to some of those events. I'll tell you what, that big one, Bristol, this weekend is awesome. Ha! I'm sure Scott would appreciate the Minty work. Absolutely. Thank you, Zip Tide. You know, so
one of my favorites is Super Mario Diagnostics. He gets real technical into some of this Euro stuff that he's working on. Super brilliant guy, very good at what he does, and he's there in Florida also.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's in Miami area.
In California.
Yeah.
I watch his videos all the time. He doesn't put out a ton all the time, but yeah, that's a guy that's really, he's got a frugal setup, and does a lot of, he's pretty smart, talented. I love his little headset he always has on.
yeah, good audio. Yeah, he's really sharp. He's done a lot of work, just schooling, learning how these systems work, and man, he's getting it.
The German shit is absolutely, I don't even want to do it. I'm too old now. I'm not too old. I could learn it if I wanted to, but I'll be honest with you. I tried to bust into some BMW stuff 2 years ago, and I got my ass whooped. What's internet? Yeah. I lived in Florida for 3 weeks in the summer, and it was hot. Well, honestly, to be honest with you, Florida and Iowa are very similar in climate during the summer times. The humidity and whatnot. The only difference is in the wintertime, they're a lot warmer. So there's a lot of people that actually move to. In fact, if you know anything about Iowa Hawkeye football games are usually in Florida for a reason, because Iowa travels either to Arizona or Florida, because Iowa people vacation. They like vacation in Florida and Arizona the best. So
the snowbirds, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know about snowbirds now. Like, I'm from Vegas, and I grew up there. I lived there forever, and we moved to Spokane, kind of looking for a change in smaller town and 4 seasons. But what we didn't realize was that fourth one, winter, like this year, we had snow. It was like beginning of October all the way through. We even had some in May snow every month. The whole time. So, man, that's a lot of winter. So we're looking forward to seeing the sunshine a little bit more, and the sunshine just, that's what we're used to. So
I'm waiting for Peg to chime in about winter. That'll be because like he laughs at anybody that's below the. He laughs at anybody. Minnesota's like warm weather to them guys up there. But the freaking. Winters are not that bad in Iowa compared to once you get north of Iowa. And like that line above Iowa is like where shit starts to get brutal. And then once you get into Canada, obviously, it's like -35.
Oh, man.
I don't know how those guys do it up there. I watched Steve Willis. Have you ever heard of the guy named Steve Willis? And the Canadian YouTubers, are absolutely some of the nicest people in the world. So Steve Willis camping or something like that. He is. Guy just lost his wife a week ago.
Oh man.
Man, I mean, just terrible tragedy. Went to sleep, woke up, she passed away. They're not even like, she's like 50s, but she's in Canada. Super nice guy. Edit. But watching his videos, he goes camping in like negative 35-degree temperature. I'm like, dude, you're out of your mind. I'd be getting a hotel. It's just,
I'm such a wuss, man. Like here in Spokane during the winter, it was in the teens, but I went through 3 pallets of pellets. I had a pellet stove there in the shop just to keep it, above freezing. And man, I was burning pellets like crazy just to stay warm to do work in there.
yeah,
I can't imagine camping in that. I couldn't do it.
Well, it's like, so like I try to tell people, like, people cry about in the wintertime about something when it's 30 degrees out. And I'm like, I'm acclimated. 30 degrees is warm during the winter once I get acclimated. Like anything below 10 degrees. And single digits is where I start to. And like, you got Peg up there in Canada walking around in a t-shirt and short sleeves at like negative 5 degrees. I mean, he's just tougher than a $2 steak. So for that cold, but I would, I mean, once again, you never see anybody hardly ever moving farther north when they've lived south. I mean, I've never seen a Florida man that says, dude, I can't wait to move to Minnesota. It's always the opposite. So.
Yeah. Well, our little one, we were able to give her 3 winters, so she could play in snow and experience that. We're done. We are done.
You moved up there for 3 years?
Yeah, we were here just over 3 years. I guess, close to 4, 3.5, 4 years, something like that. And the worst thing is, and it's a real thing, is if you don't see the sun for an extended period of time, you can suffer from depression. Like, it really gets to you.
Oh yeah, it does.
And so, that was a huge thing. It was, we were having a conversation, my wife and I, and she was telling me, maybe next winter, I can just take a trip down to Vegas or Arizona and just do that a few times. I said, why don't we just move to someplace? Let's go to Florida.
Yeah. Dude, that's
she was
awesome.
like, okay.
That's awesome that you guys are willing to make that. I'm too much of a wuss to make that decision to do, because I don't know. I just, like, I think about it and moving, and the thing about it is, I moved to a state where there's more population. I don't know that I don't want to be around people. Like, I like people, like, in doses. I don't know. That's weird for a guy that's on YouTube to say, but I don't want to be in a area where I'm more populated by people. And Iowa has, it's just, you look at things like Lake Mead has water issues. It's a good thing you're moving from where you're at right now, because obviously there's going to massive drought in that region right there. But I mean, there's so much, like, Iowa is very sustainable. I look at it from a long-term, this is like prepper shit here, but I look at it from a long-term standpoint. We're very sustainable. If something were happening in the world, in Iowa, we're able to take care of ourselves. When the housing market crashed, Iowa didn't really fall.
Right.
Because we're surrounded by agriculture, and one thing you won't stop is food. And that's like, we're number one egg producer in America now. We're number one corn producer. All those things make a huge difference. And I look at that and I'm like, at the end of the day, what's the one thing you want to make sure you have? And that's food and water.
That's number one.
Yeah.
And you know what? Iowans are just grounded, man. Like in 2008 or even recently, your real estate market didn't skyrocket like everyone else's. So there's no bust and boom. It's just kind of more of an even keel.
Yeah. And that's the thing about it is that's why I look at going someplace else. I mean, the taxes are high here. There's obviously a lot of downfalls, but the technology, they've ramped up the technology so good because of agriculture. Like, we've got internet in areas now. Like, I can go get internet Wi-Fi in the middle of cornfields now here. Yeah. And people don't understand that. It's our technology. It's been a huge deal. Like, that was a huge government deal to make sure that Iowa had, like, crazy amounts. And don't get me wrong. It's not, there's obviously better places to live. But as far as entertainment wise, no, Iowa's not going to be. If you want entertainment, it's not like you're going to go to the best restaurants and all that. I mean, there is good restaurants, but it's not like you're going to go to the world renowned restaurants or get lots of concerts or stuff like that. It's not an exciting, exuberant place to live, but it's on the top 13 for best places to live in America. And, you know, the people, there's no crime rate here. You look at all these other places, there's no crime rate, the low crime rate. That's another thing is I don't want to have to deal with getting carjacked or whatnot. And yeah, there's just things like that makes it. Yeah.
Yeah. They're solid people, man. And like you're talking about the internet, the cab of a John Deere tractor does not look like the ones from the 80s. They're decked out. They're, you know, everything is computer controlled because, you know, you're off by a few inches over here. You're going to be off by a mile down the road.
Yeah. 1985 farming for me. I couldn't believe this when I went to that tractor show. I was growing up using a two-row corn picker on my grandpa's farm. And then like, it was crazy to see a 2-row combine. And now they have like 12-row combine. And these kids, like Cole the Corn Star, these kids that are doing these farming videos and whatnot, it's not like we had livestock and crops and we had milking and we did all of it in one farm now. Now you pick a deal to do. Like
right.
the milking has pretty much disappeared from Iowa, and Wisconsin's slowed down a lot. Colorado is a huge milking place now. There's like huge 1,000 head of cows, and they never leave the barn. Farming has changed so much. Like, you want to talk about technology that's absolutely went insane, and that is that agriculture is one of the biggest money makers because everybody has to eat. You know, like, you could stop driving a car and you could walk and ride a bike. Like, you could get by without it would suck. People would not like it, but you get by. But absolutely everybody has to eat. And that's where it is. So,
yeah. And you were talking earlier about those tractor pulls. Everyone's got a brand new Ford F-350 diesel, you know, or a Cummins or whatever, brand new stuff. That's some money these days.
Guys are driving. This is no joke, Steve. I met a kid at the tractor pull who was 24 years old that had more money in trucks than I have in tools and my house.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're not talking like they weren't major pulling trucks. These were trucks that he called, oh, my work truck is a 2018.
Yeah, the old beater.
2018. That was his old beater. Okay, like that's his oldest truck that he has. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, that's still a $30,000+ truck.
Still.
Okay.
Right.
And he's pulling with a 2022 Dodge Cummins. That's a $100,000 truck. And then he pulls with a 2021 Dodge Cummins dually crew cab. I mean, like, are you shitting me right there? I mean, that's almost $180,000 in pickups right there.
I can't even imagine. Yeah.
So anyways, I know we went off tangent here, but people don't understand, like, from my perspective, it's the farming community has absolutely turned. My family, we used to be big farmers when I was younger. My grandpa sold all the land for his retirement because nobody in the family wanted to do farming. And that was absolutely the biggest mistake in his life. But back in the 80s, FFA killed the American farmer. And it pulled off all these old farmers that were trying to make a living. And then in the late 90s, they started an uprising again when they started coming back. And then these kids and there's adults too that started buying farms, and they realized if they could get a line of credit. I mean, I know guys that are $1 million in debt, and it's nothing to them. You know, it's nothing to them. And they're not making $1 million a year. They're making $200,000 a year, maybe, but they're spending so much money on, you know, $500,000 on a tractor, $500,000 on a combine. No big deal to them. Buy another combine so we can get done faster. Their crops will be out. I should do a video. Crops are probably going to be out here in the next week or two in some fields already. When I was a kid, you didn't get corn out sometimes till late October.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be all done before mid-October here. So, yeah.
I don't know, you know, per acre, but I know these guys in springtime, they're spending tens of thousands of dollars just in seed.
Yep.
And man, pray for your farmers, seriously, because one bad year, that could just be a devastating thing for people.
Well, and they got crop insurance now, and there's obviously a lot of ways. I don't feel as bad for them. I know it's just terrible to say but I don't feel as bad for them as they did back in the day. I remember my grandpa, we lost like 6 fields of corn, and they didn't have that. The crop insurance was shit. You basically got back a quarter of your return on your crop insurance. Now these guys are getting back what they combine the field and whatever their suggested yield was, because they have better information now. Now they cover that insurance, and they don't get back all of it now. And a lot of farmers will tell you they get screwed. I get it, but they cover their investment, their original investment. Back in the day, you didn't even get to cover your original investment when you lost your crops. Like, you were out on that. So
yeah, you're just SOL there.
Yeah, and it's just not the same. So I know this is boring talk where everybody's like, why are we talking about farming on a tool channel? I'm diverse, fellas. I'm not a jack of all trades. I'm not a master of anything. I'm a jack of all trades. A master of none is better than a master of one. That is the full saying. And that's what I am. I grew up farming. That's why I got into mechanics. I used to watch my parents struggle. I watched my grandpa struggle. And farmer fixes are a real thing, believe it or not, because I have to repair them all the time. In fact, I have a truck sitting right out here that's had a ton of farmer fixes on it. That's why it's taken me longer to get everything done on it. And, it's just whenever let me ask you, Steve, have you run into farmer fixes? And what is your opinion on farmer fixes? I don't hate them. So I'm not knocking on anybody, but farmer fixes are sometimes you have to know. Let me get your opinion on that.
All right. So imagine a 1988 Volkswagen van, Westfalia, right? The camper. Mm-hmm. Now, this guy's not a farmer, but it's a farmer fix. He says, now the engine won't start, and I kind of look at it and it's got a lean condition, and he says, well, I've been in there and I've been working on this thing for years, and I'm in, it's in the back of the van. You've got all the original Volkswagen hoses, with the cloth wrap, the woven cloth, like some really good stuff. But I mean, by now it's almost 35 years old or something like that. And he says, yeah, I've been using baling wire and bubble gum to put some of this stuff together. And everyone says that. No. He actually used baling wire and bubble gum to put this thing back together. I pull a hose off. No, there was no clamp on it. There's wire around it. And around the nipple where this hose goes on was literally bubble gum. And I was so glad I was wearing gloves at the time, because I was like, dude, that was ABC gum. That's disgusting.
So I've done farmer fixes, and I've seen a lot of crap. The most recent terrible one was the guy brought in a Volvo S70, I think it was, and he replaced the turbo on it, but didn't have the right flanges, and he put all of this that copper RVT for high heat on every single fitting on the entire engine, which then caused massive turbo leaks. Not only that, it sucked it into the oil port and caused a whole bunch of problems with that, ruined the turbo that he put on there. Long story short, it was an absolute disaster. Okay? This guy is actually a very smart guy. And he read somewhere or watched a YouTube video where you can use copper high heat to seal exhaust. That RVP stuff. And that is not wrong, but how you use it is where you don't use it on turbo intakes. There's just, you don't, and not only that, it's just terrible. Long story short, I've dealt with so many farmer fixes in my life. I understand if you have to get out of the field or have to get home with a farmer fix, but know and understand when you cut corners on repairs, there could be repercussions. And I hate talking about this stuff because like Peg is, Zip Ties does a lot of crazy fixes and whatnot. And there's nothing wrong with doing it. I don't want to knock on anybody for doing it, because I actually find some of them to be interesting. Like, I like watching people fix stuff that's, I don't know. I enjoy it. It's fun to watch somebody get something running out of minimal shit, you know. And like I watched Peg weld on his last one. He did a revival, and he welded a nut onto the yoke of the drive shaft because he didn't have a socket. And I thought that was pretty smart. I was actually like, that's pretty interesting that he thought his socket wasn't big enough, so he had a welder with him, which is crazy because you have a welder, not a socket. But anyway, welded the socket to the yoke nut and then backed it off. Now, granted, your nuts you can cut it off the whiz wheel, but you're obviously never going to be able to get a socket on there again. But the repercussion of that was very minimal. You can just replace the nut then later, weld another socket back onto it, take it off, replace the nut. That's okay. But I've seen some of these guys where they cause this permanent damage, like that turbo, where you put all that sealant in there, where you're going to cause permanent damage and end up costing yourself money in the end.
Yeah.
So are they good? Yeah, they are. I think farmer fixes are definitely, they have some silver lining to them, and that content is really interesting and cool to see it. But you have to be smart enough to understand where that's going to lead you to at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
We talked about it before, you know, the short videos, and I've got a short which has been seen like 2 million times, and it's how to replace a connector on an engine, you know, to depin it and then to put a new connector on there. The number one comment, and I've got 1,000 comments, and they're all the same: zip tie it, just zip tie it, zip tie it. So that has got to be the most common farmer fix in any engine bay. I've seen so many of this, and now that I've done a YouTube video on it, I see so many comments from people: just zip tie it, just zip tie it.
Not always the way to do it. I got to read here what's going on here. I delivered roofing to a house that was in my community that sits in my aunt's old farm the other day. It was real weird going back and seeing houses in the farm. I had best childhood memories. I bet that was sad, Dave. Yeah. We got Biggie talking about Colorado. Oh, draws out. Yeah. Nebraska had some water issues. They draw it out. If you guys haven't been, that wasn't a big news deal. If nobody knows about that, people will talk. This could be conspiracy, but Biggie Fitz can probably confirm this. So Nebraska lost like a foot or so, or lost a bunch of water from one of the reservoirs, which actually drains into the Colorado River, which actually goes to Lake Mead. And nobody talks about this on the news. But they talk about Colorado has been overrun by California. Yeah, dude, we all know about. The farther you can move away from the West Coast, the better you are. I like Musty One's motor. Yeah, motor. He's
I'm starting
awesome.
to believe that now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just there's just too many. I don't know what happened over there, but I feel bad for the good people that are there. There's bad people everywhere, guys. I don't give a shit. There's bad people in Iowa. There's bad people on the East Coast. Bad people West Coast. Bad people Canada. There's bad people everywhere in the world. But West Coast seems to have everybody running the place. Not necessarily all the people living there, but the people running the place. The people that are of any power or have anything, they comment on anything, even all the way up to Oregon, seem to be have some sort of issue. Like they've got some serious problems. Like I don't understand. Like the electric car, like I was talking about, like Midnight Road Garage.
Man.
What in the hell what are they thinking? You know, like Midnight Road Garage said, only 3% of the cars there are electric now. And by 2024, and they can't even afford, they have blackouts with power. They're not even sustainable for that shit.
So Tyler, Turbo Tai,
yeah,
he just posted on his Instagram stories a letter from like Cal Edison or whoever his power company is there in California. And it was a letter laying out like, oh, we're, having problems. You need to conserve. And they give you the date, the times like between 4 and 9 p.m. You need to turn your thermostat up to 78 and don't run your washing machine and don't charge your electric vehicle between 4 and 9 p.m. because the grid can't handle it. And what do they have? Like 1% of cars on the road are electric? Wait until they're 100%. No one's going anywhere.
I mean, they're not prospering out there. I mean, it's pretty easy to see. Like you can the thing that everything that's going on down there, they are destroying themselves. Like it is a full collapse of the Western United States of what's going on, right? Idiots. I mean, the thing, the thing about it is they worry about what everybody else is doing too much. You realize that's like the biggest problem with everybody in this world since the internet has exploded up and social media has been. People like if I don't like something, I don't like my neighbor, I don't talk to him. Okay, but if I don't like to go to if I don't like the people at this restaurant, I don't go eat there. Okay, it's no different than that. Like if you don't like something, you just like that's how I grew up. You don't like something, and I don't like somebody's videos, I don't watch them. Okay, I learned a little bit too late. I got caught into the social media shit. I was on Facebook in 2008, so it probably took me about 10 years to finally figure out that hey, I don't want to be grouped up with these people that like I even see we have it in our USPSA right now. We have where these guys are fighting because one guy got kicked out, and now they sit there and make memes and talk trash about each other, and it's just constantly a back and forth deal. And it's like what until somebody finds a way to screw somebody over. That's all it is. It's a constant battle to see how they can figure out a way. And it's like Jesus Christ, how much time and energy do you waste on that? You know what I mean? Like, think about the efforts that could go towards doing something positive versus wasting your time and effort on trying to just destroy somebody else. Two people that are really intelligent fighting like that, trying to destroy each other instead of doing something positive for everybody else.
Well, that, and it's in front of everybody too, on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. And if someone else picks up on that and keeps that snowball rolling, it's going to get way blown out of proportion.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's another thing that blows my mind is these kids, and I'm not against these kids. There's a lot of cool kids out there, but a lot of these kids have never known what it's like to work and have a real job. And some of these kids are famous. I'm only going to use Andrew Flair as an example, Fishing with Flair. He's like 26 years old, and he started doing YouTube when he was 15, and now he's a millionaire, and he's building a mansion, and he's a nice guy. Don't get me wrong, he's a nice guy, and he's got a great channel, and I enjoy watching him. But you can just tell the lack of common sense from not ever having to do anything. Nothing against him bad because he's not dumb, but you can tell the lack of common sense they have for just general things, like simple things like taking off something off, like fixing a car or something like that. They have no ideals of how to do that. They're confused, and you can just tell, and that's all from a lack of not having to do anything enough manual labor, younger, being in a trade, being involved. Like the one cool thing like about when I grew up was they put you in a trade. If you weren't smart, you went to a trade, which that is a cliche deal in itself, because I believe that tradespeople are equal to anybody that has a college degree. But you always hear these guys say, I went to college, like it's some kind of notable thing. I know tons of people that didn't go to college and are way smarter than people that did go to college. That has no bearing on anything. You're either dumb or you're smart. That's all there is to it. I mean, and I'm not saying that being dumb is being dumb neither. Some people have a lot more common sense, but using it, and now all these people get forgiven on their college educations, and they're still bragging about going to college. Well, if you were so smart, then why didn't you pay your debt?
No, that's our job. Not to get too political here.
No, I know. Well, no, it's the truth though. What's up, wasted talent? There's so many things. I'm not trying to solve the world's problem, but
You're talking about that young kid, the fisherman. You'll open a hood of a car and see the plastic covers everywhere and not know what's under there because that's somebody else's job.
I watched him do it on his channel. He bought a ProMaster van and he opened it up and he's like, how do you work on this thing? He doesn't realize there's a doghouse you take off on the inside, and then some vans are actually easier to work on than cars. Mm-hmm. Gender fluid, that's what it is, Chad Pope. Liberal arts or gender studies. They're gender fluid people. But not to say that people that are older aren't either, because honestly, I hate. First thing that pisses me off is calling yourself a Gen X. I hate that shit. I think a lot of people know that, but I hate the terminology boomer, all that shit, because it was never relevant when I was a kid. That didn't matter. Now people are getting classified by the years they were born. Like that is such discrimination and a form of racism that I've never seen in my And you know what that is? That is all liberal mentality, in my opinion.
If I don't know you, but I can group you into Gen X and then I can beat Gen X up, well then I just got you.
Yeah, exactly. But why does it matter? Like people don't. When I started doing YouTube, people thought I was in my 20s. You know, they
Dude, you
thought I
look
was.
I remember those days with the short hair. You looked real young.
You wait till I go back to short hair. People still think that I'm young, and they think that
Yeah.
I'm, and they have no idea. But that's the thing about it is what does it matter? I've never judged a man on the year he was born. I've never looked at a man and said, "Hey, what year's your birthday?" "Oh, you're a millennial." I think that was the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Let me
So,
stand up.
oh, look at that. You got your light back on.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of those motion detectors.
Uh,
So you can see a little bit of gray in this beard. So when people see that nowadays, people are starting to actually listen to what I have to say and believe me, like, oh, that guy probably knows what he's talking about. And that never happened before. It's really weird.
You know what though? There's a lot of I've never been like that though. You know what I mean? Like I would listen to a person. I've always been the type of guy that listened to a person. I think everybody has something to offer. I've listened like people. There's people in here that probably think that I don't listen to them, and they think that I think I'm the smartest person. But I've always been a very type of attentive person that likes to listen to everybody and learn. I've always liked to learn from people. I was that type of kid. I remember going to people's farms when I was growing up, and I would just listen to them talk for hours before I'd ever say a word. And when you meet me and I don't know you, most times I'll sit there and listen, because I want to learn, I want to know what type of person you are. I watched several of your videos before I even said anything. I've watched hundreds of other people's videos and never said a word. And, I just, I like, you can get a feel for how a person is and where they're at and where their head's at in the game, I guess, when you listen to them talk. I don't know, whatever. But it doesn't. I don't ever go, oh, this kid's a gender fluid millennial. Like he's a xenophobe, gender fluid millennial. That's like their favorite terminology.
Yeah, I think just judging someone based on age or appearance or whatever, you're going to miss a whole lot. There's a lot more to people than what meets the eye.
Yep, there you go. That's exactly what it is, Larry. It is. They tear apart the country by getting everybody to fight each other, and I think it's so silly. I absolutely. There's so many people that just don't realize that if they put down the swords for a minute, they have more to offer the world together in unity. And I'm not trying to sound like a goody two shoe because I'm an asshole all the time. But I get tired when somebody's like coming at me with hate. Like I don't want to do nothing but slap you. But when there's somebody that has common ground and wants to have an intelligent conversation and like be on the same page, I mean, dude, me and Hot Rod Dave could have got into it like big. Hot Rod Dave was madder than hell at me one night, and I knew right away I messed up. But he's a good dude. But I mean, that's just it. And Chef Shadry, I took the time. I took the time to try to get to know people, and took the time to solve. I don't want to be mad at anybody. I don't want to fight with anybody. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be. I don't want to. It's just people say stupid things, and it's like you are wanting to fight instead of coming at somebody with some negativity. Why not come at somebody with some like positivity instead of saying, dude, your video sucks? It's to be like, hey, I got a question for you. Like, why do you feel this way? Or, stuff like that. The people don't have the common sense to talk to a man anymore. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense?
Yeah. So go from like politics into tools, and we all see this. You got your Snap-on fanboys, you got your Milwaukee fanboys, Harbor Freight, whatever it is. But if you meet someone and this the Harbor Freight guy, it is real easy to automatically be ready to listen to whatever he's going to say and have something to counter that with. Like you're ready to fight instead of just listening. You're just going to counter everything he says because you want to be right, because it's your team, like Team Snap-on or Team whatever.
Exactly. And that's exactly why people don't get my channel, but that's exactly what I do is a lot of times when I stir the pot on something, it's because I want to milk those guys out of my system. I literally like people. I don't remember who it was. Somebody said in here, I think it was Zephiel said one night, CP, if you just stop messing with the Harbor Freight guys, you probably have more viewers. I don't want those people, okay? Because I know a lot of people that go to Harbor Freight that are friends of mine, and they say to me, Chad, I get it. Like, you know what? There's a lot more people out there that get it than the people that, like you. If you're sticking up for Harbor Freight, what did they do for you? What did any of these companies do for anybody that being friends with me, I'm going to do more for you than Harbor Freight will? I guarantee you that. There's not, like, you'll do more than any of these companies. Snap-on, I'll do more than you for Snap-on. Well, none of those companies are focused on helping out the blue-collar man. None of those companies are. I'm sorry, but nobody, if you own a business that you're doing sales, you are definitely not focused on, you're like Nick is probably the closest at JD Co. He's probably the closest because he definitely cares about his business enough that he doesn't want to, and he cares about customer service enough. But above that, there's not anybody. I've seen guys that are getting on YouTube that have tool trucks now that they don't care neither. They're just trying to get a piece of the pie. They're trying to jump their internet sales. They see an opportunity.
Bigger numbers, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not a bad thing. I mean, you have a business, you want to succeed, right? I don't fault them for that. But the clickbaiting this stuff is what, when I see that, I'm just like, listen, fella, like, really? Like, I mean, why not just be straight up and focus on your brand? I tell that to Nick all the time, too. I'm like, dude, there's no need to say anything about Snap-on or Harbor Freight. You have a good brand that you're building yourself. And I truly believe that. Nick is doing the right thing. He's building his brand himself, and he's got a brand. JD Tico, I don't think of buying tools from, if I'm going to buy something Milwaukee from Nick, I think of it as I'm buying a JD Tico tool. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I think of, when I'm buying it. Your brand means everything. You know what I mean? Like, that's Snap-on. When I think of Snap-on, if I buy a Snap-on something I bought it off the Snap-on truck and it doesn't say Snap-on on it, I bought a Snap-on tool. I bought the brand, and that's exactly
from your guy,
right? Exactly.
And that's what Nick said. He mentioned that he wouldn't even be doing his route if it weren't for his guys. Like, he cares about his guys, and they like coming on his truck.
Yeah, exactly. Chef. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter. Your common sense. Everybody has something to offer. That's what I was saying. I was drunk. Don't worry, Dave. I understand. Like, it's cool that we could get along like that and understand. Like, that's just a good dude right there. That's how you know. Like, I've been in fights with guys in bars. I'm not the most quietest guy, and I'm a sarcastic prick sometimes. But the reality of it is, at the end of the day, I'm not a bad dude. Like, I don't I do this stuff to razz people because that's the way my grandpa was too. My grandpa was a big Norwegian, and I watched him smack a guy down to the ground before because he was talking about a woman badly. And my grandpa would joke around with people all the time, and he was the nicest guy in the world. But boy, you cross him, man, his hands were like, you think I got big hands? That dude had some hands on him. I mean, when he picked this is what well, my hands are small, but this is when he picked up a can of pop, it was like watching Andre the Giant. And he wasn't a tall guy, but it's just, that's what I look up to. Those are my role models, or people like that have enough. I like my U.S. General cart, but the rest of the hand tools, except for a few hammers I bought, was pretty terrible. Yeah, Harry J. Epstein. Yeah, I don't know. We're having a good chat. I apologize. I've gone all over the place here, guys, and way longer than I wanted to, and probably cut Steve off a bunch of times. Steve is. I can't say enough thank yous for coming on tonight, because this has been an absolutely great live stream with you. I appreciate having you on. I definitely enjoy having you come back again. This conversation was so great. I don't like the political stuff. I don't want to get into that stuff, and I know Steve doesn't either because it's too dicey.
It's a minefield.
Yeah, it is. It is, and it's just like talking about Harbor Freight tools. I don't like triggering people to that extent. Like, I don't intend to offend people that crazily. And I know Steve is very good. I don't have I don't have the, what's the word I'm thinking of here? I don't have the I'm not reserved enough. But Steve is very focused when he does his videos, and he keeps the positivity high, and I like that. And that's, guys, it's so much more rewarding to be positive. In my last Mac video, I went off on the Milwaukee fanboys because I just read a comment before I did that video, and it just, I can't help it because those guys, and Snap-on guys do it too. It's everybody, guys. It's just social media in general. But I appreciate all the people that come in this chat. It's been absolutely the mangina triggering me. But see, you know what? I can read stuff like that and not get offended if somebody says that to me because of the context. That's what, we run the shit out of those earthquake electric impacts. They're pretty damn good. Not much difference over our Milwaukee's. That's the thing about here. Let me get your thoughts on this real quick. I've had this thought. I love Torque Test Channel. How much do you rely on that information to devote to any type of purchases, and what are your reasons?
Well, for number one, I think Torque Test Channel is unique because they're like committed to getting the good numbers, like not the stuff on the box, the 1,400 foot-pounds, but the real deal.
Right.
And I really like that. But at the same time, my buying decisions are almost never max torque. I like what I like. Mostly
Absolutely.
air, like you saw that we were having those comments today, or battery versus air. I like air tools. I have never smoked an air drill. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But I've got cordless drills and I've smoked them. I've got electric drills, smoked them. And I've got comments on my channel too where they see me using an air drill and they mock me for it. Like, oh, imagine someone in 2022 using an air drill. Well, it works. It always works. So going back to Torque Test Channel, I really like the stuff that they're doing, but and I'm going to do a video about this soon, about not being on a team Milwaukee, Team DeWalt, Makita. I've got so far Milwaukee and Ryobi. I want to buy a DeWalt, the new 20 volt, I think it is, because it looks good. And Torque Test Channel proved that it is one of the best ones out there. And like you were saying, it's all about the battery. Once those batteries are done, it doesn't matter how good the tool is. So I want to sort of diversify, have something from every line and really see for myself how it works on a car, not a dyno, and not taking anything away from them. Because like I said, I like what they're doing, but when you're actually have it in your hand and you're actually using it and you have a feel for how much torque you're putting on that fastener, because you've used it so many times, you're not going to break it. You just know. And really, for me, air, I don't have that same feeling with electric. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I think you explained it perfectly well, and I think a lot of guys that are on the same, you're on the same page as I am, 100%. There's no doubt about it. I think a really smart person or somebody, there's a lot of great mechanics, a lot of smart mechanics, and there's a lot of guys that watch Torque Test Channel, and I agree with you 100%. Torque Test Channel is a fantastic channel because it gives you a baseline for knowing what you want. Okay, I don't believe this gun actually is the top of the chart, but the thing about it is it met my needs as being very powerful for what it is. I love this 5 amp hour battery. Look at this thing. Look, it's still on 3. I swear to God, the battery never runs dead on it. The baseline that I got off that was that it was a 250 legit torque, 240, I think is what it turned out, 240, which is plenty for doing most of what I needed to do. And this one doesn't do that, but this one also has a different profile and a different, like it's skinnier and it's longer. And the stubby ones, I found out that I don't necessarily always like the stubby one because I go into a place and I want the length without having to get an extension. And I'm just changing sockets because when you're changing extensions, it's obviously taking more time. You have to put an extension on, then you got to put the socket on, and then you got to change that, and usually the extension comes off.
And you're losing power.
Right. So the torque test channel is good for getting a baseline. But the other thing is the torque test channel can't do, or Project Farm, and I get these comments all the time from people, is that they can't talk about how the tool holds up, like over a period of time. This tool has been an absolute hog, an absolute freaking hog, and I absolutely love it. My Milwaukee would shift at the handle. It was very clunky feeling. I didn't like it. And it wasn't me being biased towards it because I would have kept the tool. I still have a Milwaukee drill, the little one. It's been very good. It's actually held up very well. I have the Milwaukee soldering iron, and the stable gun has been awesome too. But I don't have the issues where I'm getting the battery in the way on those. So it definitely is a catch. It's a catch-22 with them, and that's why I like having multiple tools too. You know, I mean, like that's the other thing. Just like you said, not being brand specific. I think once you get involved with enough battery platforms, if you want to get battery platforms, sticking to one company is definitely not going to solve all your problems. There's too much of that mentality where, okay, well, let's say Milwaukee topped every chart out there, so I'm going to buy Milwaukee. Now you've married to that brand. DeWalt comes out with a tool that's better, and I don't have batteries. Now I have a 20 volt and a 12 volt line with DeWalt. I have a 12 volt with I think the Milwaukee 12 volt line is really nice, expansive line. They have a lot of tools for that. But then I also have Snap-on for the 14.4. I'm a very 12 volt type of guy. I will tell you that. We're working on automotive stuff, and I don't really care about the 20 volt stuff. Contractor people working on, houses and stuff like that, they're very 20 volt driven, 18 volt, 20 volt driven. Whereas me as a mechanic, I'm looking at lighter stuff. I'm used to working with this little guy, okay, versus an air ratchet or versus my cordless. The size difference is just, I mean, granted, the head gets out of the way, but you're looking at just even the body. I mean, look at the mass of it to hold the motor and all that stuff. Complete different animal. And so coming from that, where a lot of guys have never experienced that, I think that's the problem is a lot of people haven't never had cordless tools. You know what I mean? Like, or they've never had air tools. So, and I think we're older guys and people will say, oh, you're just boomers or this and that, whatever. The difference is we've experienced it. You need to experience everything to really understand. And I think that's where basically everything you just said was that it's not good to be brand specific, but it gives you a baseline.
One of the best things I heard on Torque Test channel is for their impact drivers. I think it was the Milwaukee, the brand new one, the the hex bit. It's so powerful now. They keep snapping the adapters in there. You don't need that much power on an impact driver, but they're just going to keep ramping it up so they can be number one and people buy that stuff. I don't want that. I don't want to be snapped on my rigid. I've got a rigid impact driver. Never once have I snapped the 3/8 drive adapter for it, and it works just fine. Right. It's not going to break every bolt loose, but that's what I got air for.
Absolutely. 1000% agree with that. That's the other thing is people don't understand when you're using a 20 volt tool, or let's say you got something that's getting 500 pounds on a 3/8 gun and you're taking off 13 and 10 millimeter bolts, you're going to cause yourself a lot of problems and headaches when you have that thing turned all the way up and you're zipping them off. And I think that's the other thing is when people are going out to buy these tools, they don't realize that if you don't have to feel for it when you're going in to hit them, I don't ever come into a bolt. I very rarely come into a bolt. Well, I shouldn't say that. If I get going and I know, I'll come in and I'll zip like that,
Yeah.
But if it's something that I'm not sure I'm going to break, like a 10 millimeter, if I'm coming into a 10 millimeter, I start off slow and ramp it up. And I'm sure you do the same thing. Like, I don't want to break that bolt. So it's something that I'm
pulsing that trigger.
Yes, I've developed that sense of feel for taking off fasteners, and with a less powered tool, worked my way up to where I've had a tool that's got more power than I need now, because I understand the differences, like getting that middle ground to where you want to be. I mean, that's just a big deal. You know what I mean? I mean, that's why I have this gun for smaller stuff, interior. Like, there's a lot of 10 millimeter, 8 millimeter bolts. 1/4-inch gun would be a little bit better, but I don't want a 1/4-inch gun because I feel like my ratchet's good enough. And that's what this gun's for. It's less power, a little bit more controllable. You know, and that gun gets dirty, but there's just different values for every tool out there, and that's Torque Test Channel gives you a great baseline, but it doesn't check all the boxes for me. For not saying anything bad about Torque Test Channel. I know somebody will go back and say, "Oh, CP was talking crap about it." No, I'm not. I love those guys. Those guys
they're
are
awesome.
They've been absolutely great. I love their testing, and they give me an idea. Just like you said, you use them too for the same situation. The people that are really understand this stuff get that, I think, you know, and not just taking it for. I'd go in there and I joke around in the comments all the time. I'm like, "Oh, dude, look at that! DeWalt's the best." You know, when the new DeWalt came out, I go, "Look at that! The yellow tools, the mustard tools back on top again." You know,
for now.
Yeah, for now, until the next big thing comes out. But yeah.
So you've got that Mac air ratchet, that little one that you showed me. I've got the snap on the 1/4 inch, and it on the body of the tool, it's got a dial. You know, it's got a flathead screw. You can dial it down, and it'll slow it down, and it'll also reduce the torque. And the thing I use that for is putting on valve cover bolts. You know, you're only supposed to torque these things to 89 inch-pounds.
Yeah.
So this thing will just go, and I've got it set just right to where it'll stop probably at about 70, 75, and then I can hit it the rest of the way with the torque wrench, and it's perfect. You know, you're not doing that with a cordless.
That's 100% spot on. I literally have thrown in the trash every single tool non-powered that's Chinese. Yeah, I understand. That's the other thing is too. It's absolutely impossible. It's impossible for to stay away from Chinese stuff anymore, guys.
Yeah,
I'm almost to the point to where I'm absolutely sick of this argument. Like, I mean, I understand, like, that's what you can afford and whatnot, but there's a quality difference in those sockets. And I know they'll get the job done for people. Clearly they will. Clearly Chinese tools have a place in the market because people want to pay less for them. I just know also that they can also, it's like trusting a wet fart. That's what a Chinese tool is. Like, sometimes you might get by with it, you know, and sometimes you might not. I've been down these roads before, you know.
And you already mentioned you almost put your eye out with shrapnel off of a socket.
There's times where it's, and the Taiwan tools are probably the ones that I would say are really taking over the USA market. Like, if you have Taiwan stuff, there's a lot of Taiwan stuff that's better than some USA made stuff. No doubt about it. I've been absolutely impressed with the quality on a lot of Taiwan stuff. China has some good stuff, quality stuff too. You're not going to stop. Obviously, this DeWalt Impact is China, 100% made in China. It doesn't say this one's not made in America, and DeWalt has some tools that aren't made in America. But they're not all.
Half the things with a microchip are made in China. That includes your big scan tools and all that.
My phone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where my phone is. Yeah, I don't know what. Some of them are made in India now too.
iPhone is going to India this year.
Is it? Yeah. So, unfortunately, the global market is expanding, and we've done it to ourselves. The one thing that I try to fight and save is the sustainability. Once again, when I talk about Iowa being sustainable, that's why I'm very passionate about USA. I see this market fading in USA. Now look at us. We all have to rely on China to bring us over goods and whatnot. And once we get to that point to where we're relying on another country, we're losing. I will promise you that without a doubt.
That's already proven. Look at how many cars aren't getting sold because they can't get the parts for them.
Exactly. So that's just food for thought for people, you know. I mean, tools might be a different story, but there's a lot of other things that you got to focus on. I mean, it's got to start somewhere. But we need to go back to sustaining our own market in some aspects here. And by killing off Snap-on, like, I know a lot of people want to see Snap-on gone. But the reality of it is that provides a lot of jobs. It provides a lot of income, and it's a sustainable business, and it provides good quality tools to a lot of guys that make money. Snap-on is not the worst thing you can spend your money on. The sad part about it is I caught a guy in my comment section. Just a little quick story here. I caught a guy in my comment section who was promoting Harbor Freight and this and that. And I don't know how it came about, but he popped up on a social media platform, another social media platform, and come to find out he was a drug user. He's talking about using Harbor Freight tools, but yet he buys meth. Okay,
Right. Yeah.
you lost
That's
your
sad.
credibility with me, going. I mean, I'm not a big drinker, but same guys do that too. They'll tell me that they love their Harbor Freight tools, but the best beer in the world is Budweiser. Okay, you're going to pay a premium price for beer. Why not just drink the cheap shit too? Like you, and not only that, there's also guys that say Harbor Freight's the best, and they're driving a Lexus.
Right.
I mean,
Well,
like
you asked me earlier, why did I choose Snap-on? And part of the reason for that is their R&D. These guys put a lot of their money right back into research, getting us the best tools. And go to Harbor Freight. What do those tools look like? Snap-on. And without that inspiration, without their R&D, do you think Harbor Freight would have the good stuff that they do? No way. They don't have money like that.
well, it's pretty clear that people are chasing Snap-on. I mean, they're an industry leader. Now, granted, I think they're losing ground. I don't want to brag on Snap-on and saying they're the best in the world because they're losing ground. Lane Tools creates a lot of stuff. Lyle, I know for a fact I've got tools in my toolbox right now that are being made by another company, and they are going to be branded as Snap-on. And Snap-on will 1,000% push them as their own tool that they're manufacturing. And the reality of it is they're not. But that's because America has taken that opposite road because of price. 90% of the comments on my channel, I don't know if I said this in my live stream or a video that I done, 90% of the comments on my channel are all driven by price. And quite frankly, if you're looking at that, you're not looking at the whole picture. There's good options out there. Even if I'm looking at something Chinese, like you can go to Amazon. We can go to Amazon right now and look up anything on Amazon. Amazon has been so Chinese based recently. They have basically just gotten rid of everything in the world. Have you noticed this on Amazon when you go to look at tools? ARE and
Yeah. Everything is their house brand now, like Amazon Basics. That's blowing up.
We got Cartman. They've got one DeWalt, but once again, I showed this in a video. We go Cartman $29 and then $129 and then $20. It's a sales tactic. We got Swan Lake tools.
Yeah, Swan Lake.
And not only that, like this set right here was the same exact set that was in Napa a couple years ago that I bought. And this is called CD. And I sent Scott an impact called a Sevum, and I was interested in seeing. I bought two of them, not a C. I didn't buy a Sevum, but I bought another one, which I think it's basically a Milwaukee knockoff. Once I rip it apart and see, but I think these companies are the same manufacturers of these big tool companies that are selling these Chinese tools now and under these different names. Mm-hmm. Are the quality is good? That's what I want to get to the bottom of. You know what I mean? Like, I know they're not in some cases, but I definitely think there's some diamonds in the rough. If you understand what I'm saying, that's what I think. There's some diamonds in the rough, and I think I found one that's a diamond in the rough. That's a brand. I know there's. I've had other tools that I pulled off that even Mac has had. They've rebranded and whatnot, but there's a ton of tools out there that are being made in the same factory. The qualities aren't always as good, but man, Amazon has definitely. I mean, like, what in the hell is the names of these tools here? I just don't understand. A U tool?
Yeah.
I mean,
and you touched on this before, where really we're price only. That's the first thing you look at is price. You don't look at anything else. And that's been going on for decades. So if you've ever traveled outside of the US, either to Japan or to Europe, even decades ago, they had stuff technology-wise 5-6 years before we even ever heard of it here in the US because price. once that price starts coming down on the brand new stuff, okay, let's take it to the American market because they'll be willing to pay this much, but not this much.
Right.
It's been like that for a long time. That's how we were raised. We were raised to do that.
Yep. To address Chef's comment here. So, Chef, if it works for you, once again, he says, I put my boss stitch sockets up against the best. Quite frankly, that's great to hear, but it's not a challenge. I'm not challenging anybody I'm not challenging anybody to buy it. Like, this isn't a challenge for me. There's still quality differences. I don't care how you slice the tomato. There's still quality differences on sockets, whether they wear out in the anvil area and they fall off the end, which you can put a new snap ring on, and if they don't hold, there's broaching differences. There's so many different aspects to a socket that a lot of people don't quite understand all the way. Do they get the job done? I've said this a million times. Yes, they will always get the job done. But how I do the job, when a broaching, I want a bolt, when I want a fastener to come into a socket and I'm in a blind area, I want to be able to put that nut on without having to try to get that socket all the way down here. And then I'm wobbling around to try to start that thread. When I have a good socket that has a shallow broaching, the bolt will still go through fine, but the nut sits up at the top. And I'm telling you what, you'll notice the difference when you use them, because that's how it is. And it's not a challenge about anything. It's just, like I said, you can use whatever you want to use, whatever you afford, you afford. It's not a challenge. I only try to show people differences so that they understand.
The way that I think about it is, what makes you smile when you're using your tool? Are you going to smile because you got such a great deal on it, or are you going to smile because you like the quality of it? For me, it's quality. And like, have you ever closed-fisted breaking a bolt, with a closed fist? I do it with a snap-on ratchet. Sometimes if I want to get a little bit more control on that ratchet, I'll do it. But do you think I'm going to do that with a Harbor Freight ratchet? Heck no, man. It's going to go just like this because I don't want to break my knuckles,
Exactly. Corey Ute says, I feel personally attacked with the cheap tools and Budweiser comment. Big Boss 402, how you doing? I love those kinds of comments, because I'm not attacking anybody. I just try to get people to understand that cheap tools if they get the job done. That's why I wanted Chef to use that impact. There's no better person on the planet that's going to give me a better review on a cheap tool than Chef Shadetree, because if he don't like it and it's a piece of shit, he's going to tell me it's a piece of shit. And that's the cool thing about it is being able. I mean, I got him another tool to send out to him because I don't want to test all these tools. I don't have time for it. I don't need 13 impacts. And granted, spending my money is, it's my money, but it was something nice to do for somebody else, and it's cool to see them make content that way. And I know he loves cheaper tools, so that's what's awesome. Cheap tools are awesome. I like seeing cheap tools. I like seeing some people use cheap tools and destroy them. I don't want to get into any arguments or disagreements about stuff, but my Tecton 12 points are excellent. Had them all the time. Snap-on ones are high quality. The difference is I lose a Tecton, I can replace it, and cheap ones I don't lose a bunch of sleep over. And that's 100%. Like, Chef's probably got the same mentality, is that if he loses a cheap socket, it's easy to replace and it doesn't cost him a lot of money. I lose any tool, I lose sleep. I'm not going to lie to you. My name's CP the Tool Addict for a reason. Trust me.
Yeah.
People that know me know that I get more pissed over losing anything, even if it's a cheap tool. I have cheap tools. I don't want to get rid of them because I just like to have them around so I can see if they work when they do. Yeah, I'm still rolling, Nick. Unfortunately, it's just been a good conversation. We probably should get it cutting off. I know it's late. Well, it's early for you still, probably. You're only at what, 10 o'clock?
Yeah, I'm still Pacific time, so I don't know what time it is, but it's not that late.
Yeah, it's 11.
I've lost a 10 millimeter down underneath an intake, and you better believe I got out there with a bore scope, and I found that sucker.
Yeah, it's definitely I don't know. I like watching Chef do his videos and make his content and talk about his tools, and I think that's the more bigger aspect I get about somebody who they're proud of what they have, and that's what I like to see more than anything. I don't care what you own. I like to see your enthusiasm towards what you own. That's
Yep.
that's the greatest part about it. If you love your Chinese tools, then stand behind them, and Chef absolutely does, and that's what I appreciate about Chef is that he loves his stuff, and he loves his boss stitch sockets. Clearly, I know he loves his Craftsman Impact. I know he loves what else do he love? Is ratchet. He's got a power belt, or I think it's a power belt, power torque ratchet. Loves all those things. Brags about them all the time. And just showing him on his channel is enough for me to understand that, yeah, Craftsman sockets get the job done. I've wasted hours looking for a drop socket. I hope I didn't irritate you, Chef. That wasn't my goal, but I definitely appreciate those guys that are definitely passionate about their stuff, because that right there is what it's all about: being passionate about your stuff. You know.
Hey, I mentioned before I did that work here in my father-in-law's garage. All my tools are gone. So right now it feels like I'm missing an arm. I can't do anything.
Yep.
And so he's got some Harbor Freight tools sitting there in the garage. We did everything on that job, all Harbor Freight, and it got the job done.
I think if I was in a situation, I see a lot of guys go on YouTube and buy. I was watching No Nonsense Know How. I really like Chris. He's a good dude. And I really like the fact he went. I don't like the fact that I'm sorry, but he immediately. I don't like the people that go to. I don't like to see when people would just go to Harbor Freight to buy something. You know, like they need a toolkit and they go to Harbor Freight. I feel like there's like if you're going to a parts store already, there's good tools in parts stores too.
You can rent them.
You know, like I don't understand why all these guys always do these will it run videos and then they go and they're out of town or something and they go to Harbor Freight and buy something. Well, if you went to O'Reilly's, you know that O'Reilly's has tools. They have Lyle. They have a lot of good tools in that store, and they have kits in that store. So why aren't you buying? They have power built kits. They have all these car places. Nobody ever shows that. It's default to go to Harbor Freight. It just like I don't know. It excites people more or whatnot. But I feel like you can still get a better value on a toolkit somewhere else than just jumping.
I've got a conspiracy theory on that, man. I think that is a YouTube hack because the word Harbor Freight gets views. If you mention Harbor Freight, people are going to watch it.
Oh yeah, this video will get over 1,000 views now. Watch, because I said Harbor Freight. And people comment all the time. They're like, it's funny that you do a video and Harbor Freight ads come up on it. Of course, because it's called marketing. If good or bad, it's all the same. I literally had a Chinese company. This is a true story. Listen to this. I had a Chinese company. Actually, it was Stink Diag. I'm just going to say the name right out bat. They sent me a scan tool, and I said, this thing's a piece of shit. I said, he was hounding me to make a video, and I go, dude, you don't want me to make a video of this. And you know what the guy said to me? I don't care if you say it's bad and make a video. Just make the video.
Wow.
And I said, you're messed up. Like, you're messed up. And he goes, the word of mouth is the word of mouth. Like, that's basically his deal to it. I'm like,
any press is good press.
Yeah, I'm like, unbelievable. This thing is this thing's so slow, Steve. I mean, it's like literally I could set a sundial by it. It is miserable to use. It is miserable to use. I mean, not even joking. It is miserable to use. Now I have a Bluetooth version of it that I bought that was like under $100 like last year, and it's not the same. And I'm like, how come your corded OBD2 scan tool is such a piece of shit, but yet your Bluetooth one is way faster? But I have to use it on my phone, and I hate using Bluetooth stuff on my phone. Like, I hate those stupid damn boroscopes that hook up because they always disconnect. And that's exactly what happens to Diag too. I get a phone call, it disconnects, and I have to go back in and reboot it. And that's what pisses me off. So I have to have a dedicated tablet for it. So
what's that? The Bluetooth is like ELM 486 or something like that.
Yeah. I did a video a week. You watched it. I have a 24.5-inch crowbar, broke a shock bolt, didn't break the ratchet, and I fell over through my phone. I did see that video. I told you I wasn't a fan of that video because he did say, he made a comment about everybody using expensive tools. Guys, I don't care what anybody says. I don't have the most expensive tool set on YouTube by a long shot. I am very, and I know Steve is the same way. You can buy you can shop and buy good quality tools by using eBay, garage sales. I mean, I bought over $2,000. I sold some of those tools that I bought at that garage sale and paid 3 times what I gave for them from selling those tools. I have done that throughout the years. And I have no money invested in that. I bought my tool and my entire toolbox setup. I have less than $7,000. 2 name brand tool cards, 2 Mac toolboxes, and less than $7,000 in them. And I don't think if you bought an Icon to match up what I have, you're definitely not going to be able to beat me. You couldn't go buy an Icon. You couldn't go to Harbor Freight and buy a toolbox setup to match mine. You can't buy a US General because it's not deep enough. You'd have to buy an Icon. It wouldn't match up. The only thing you'd have to do is buy an Icon, and you cannot absolutely walk out of that store and buy the cabinet space I can for what I paid for under $7,000.
Icon is not cheap. Those are very expensive toolboxes. You're what, $5,000 for just what, a 30-inch or something like that, 36-inch?
Yeah, absolutely, Frosty, definitely. Yeah, they're not cheap. And dude, that little cabinet they got is not cheap neither. Good or bad, if you have someone that's talking about it, it's a win. Absolutely. Has the most expensive set of coke and titanium. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, he got those for free, so I guess it's not expensive. So don't get me wrong. Getting tools from companies I was against that when I first started YouTube. But honestly, I have rejected so many tools from so many companies. I mean, I get Steve. I don't know how many emails you get, but I get 20 or 30 a week.
I haven't responded to one yet. I feel almost guilty, but not really. You know, they're offering me whatever it is, and I just delete them.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's the deal. What I had to come to grips with is first of all, I had to stop listening to what everybody else said. Secondly, is I had to start thinking about what benefit does that have to somebody, And that's the thing is that granted, it's not going to get great views. None of the shit that they offer me is going to get great views. But if you watch Last Best Tool, Doc, he gets good views on his videos, but he's been consistent, and he shows everything. And honestly, it's good to get opinions about everything and talk about everything. And that's really, at the end of the day, that's the goal.
It needs to be out there, yeah.
It broadens the market, And if I don't like something, I'm not going to bullshit anybody about it. I've been pretty honest about everything that I've said. I really don't have any skin in the game. They're not paying me. They're just giving me the tool. And if I use it and see how it is, I've got some tools I've been using for a long time that I haven't talked about yet. Just because I want to see what they're doing. I want to see if they're going to hold up. There's some stuff I definitely haven't showed and I won't because it was junk. I got a tire pressure sensor tool from a company and it was a piece of shit. I was like, this thing's junk. I'm not going to show this on my tool. It worked. It took longer to get it to work properly. And then it wasn't accurate. And I literally told them, I said, you can have this thing back. It's junk. I don't want nothing to do with it. But how is anybody else going to know? That's the thing about it is I looked at is if you don't get that tool or somebody, if somebody's reputable, like I trust your opinion on something. If that tool is not getting, somebody's going to buy it. I don't give a shit what anybody. That's what I started thinking. I was like, well, what if 10 people buy that tool? What if I save people from buying that tool?
Yeah.
That's the thing that I started thinking in my mind. I can have 6 guys that want to hate on me for it, or I can save 10 people from wasting their money on that tool. What do you do?
I know for me, I've never received a tool. I've never been paid or nothing like that. But for the tools that I like, and there's a lot of Lyle tools that I do this with, when I'm doing a repair video or something like that, I can't shut up about it. I have to tell you how much I like this tool because it's so I'm kind of worried maybe people think I'm being paid or I'm a shill or something, but I'm not. I just like this thing and I think everyone should have one.
I totally agree. If there's a tool that's really good, you'll know it. And if there's a tool that's kind of mediocre, I'm kind of on the fence. I usually say it too, though. We got Louis Casienda in the house. What's up, brother? I've had old tools given to me from passing away over the years. Some good, not so good. Yeah. Probably have the cheapest setup on YouTube. I don't know about that, Chef. I don't think you have the cheapest because I know you got some Snap-on in there. Try this headlamp. Make me video. No thanks. I did like the headlamp I got, which I bought that though. They actually messaged me and I just said I'll just buy it. Thanks anyway. So
Is that
it
the
was
one with the
yes, that
swipe?
headlamp
Yeah.
is awesome. I love that. I use it for fishing. Absolutely amazing. CP, my icon was just over 5K for the top and bottom, chest at 73 inches. So that's only one toolbox, Adam. I have 144 inches of toolbox here for under 7K.
And I'd hate to say it, but you're going to start seeing more deals like that in the used market. It's going to be sad to see, but they're coming.
Absolutely. That's the other thing is I know that you can probably buy some really nice Snap-on boxes. In fact, I've seen some Epics going for $3,000 to $5,000 for a 68-inch Epic. And believe it or not, that toolbox is 30 inches deep, and it'll hold more than a 73-inch Icon will all day long because it's so much deeper and there's a lot more space, a lot more usable space. But
yeah, a lot of the guys in our shop, they run the Epics, and they're pretty nice units.
Yeah, am I going to pay $15,000 for one? Hell no. I can promise you that right now. As much as I like that toolbox, ain't a chance in hell. I tried talking to my Snap-on dealer about getting a toolbox from him, and he quoted me out for $33,000 for the setup I wanted. And I said, so what about my trade-ins? And then he was like, nah, you're just going to use your YouTube to make. I'm like, what? Like he's literally trying to cut fat off of me for if I make any revenue on YouTube. And I said, are you shitting me right now? Mm-hmm. And he goes, so yeah, CP is this good, but it's junk. Then what? CP said, this is good, but it's junk. Then what? Well, that's a good one right there, Dave. You're not going to win every time. I mean, I could tell everybody this impact's good, and I guarantee you somebody's going to have it break. And just like I've seen DeWalt, Milwaukee, all sides of the fences, people have said, hey, this is great, but it's, you're not going to win on everything 100%. It's all about the leveling the playing field. If you can get 75% of the people that have good luck with something, I feel like that's a win. You're always going to have the 25% that they're probably going to have bad luck. Either it's built on a Monday, it is what it is, Well,
you just showed your 1/2 inch, that Mac. That thing's got some battle scars on it. If you say it's good, how can I disagree with that? It's been through the ringer and it's still working.
Well, yeah, and that's the other thing. Like this thing's been through the ringer. I mean, it's been around for years. I rebuilt this one several times. The faceplate comes off of these. I rebuild them myself. I have kits right here for them, and all I have to do is pull it off, take 3 T10 screws out, and pop the head kit out of it, put a new one in.
Does that have a grease fitting on the head of it?
Yep, sure does. It's underneath the cover right now. It's
not everyone knows that, but if you grease those things, those ratchets will hold up.
Yeah, the biggest problem is what happens with these. Oh, this one doesn't. My electric one does. I apologize, but it's sealed. So the whole head is sealed on it. But you take these 3 screws off in a snap ring, pop that out. But look at how oily this is, because I run this. This hasn't been used. I don't have an air fitting in this. This hasn't been used, and look at the oil that's on it. It's a cruddy deal, but the thing about it is everybody takes these ratchets and they yank on them, and that's what kills them. It destroys the paws in them. That was always the problem I fought as a Mac dealer. But I had a lifetime warranty on the head kit on them. I sold those as a lifetime warranty to my guys, but that was the best ratchet I've ever owned. Wasn't the most powerful, but the fact is that little button right there. I mean, dude, anytime you can not have to reach in to grab something, and you can run it one-handed, it's a win. So that's a tool right there that I would say is where it wouldn't fall on the torque test ranks as a high torque, but it beats it in ergonomics. And that's what I look for, is a tool that's going to save you time and money and make you more efficient. I mean,
I've got to say, when you look at that DeWalt cordless ratchet, it's got that big chunky battery on there. I can think of 1,000 places that won't fit, but my air, that's going in just about anywhere.
Yep, that's not wrong. I mean, I will tell you that this cordless, this thing, these long heads, was definitely something that was different for me. It was something that was new and unique for me. I definitely hate having to twist the head. I'm used to, but this long head ratchet gets into these things. Unbelievable how much you can get away with those. How much time you can save. How much money you can make. Granted, I pretty much work on flat rate, or not flat rate, but I pretty much don't get paid. I get paid by the hour, but I'm not getting paid by. I get paid by the job, so I'm not on a time limit. But I still want to get more jobs done in the day. I still got the mentality to get the job done. I don't want to dilly dally around, you know. What do we say here, Chef? I will trade you some toolboxes for that old Ford truck. There we go. I almost have to think about that. I had a toolbox that was going to be given to me, my box, for the rest of my life. But somebody already wanted. Oh yeah, I remember that. See, trust me, if I could give away everybody tools and toolboxes and all that stuff, that would be fantastic. You know, eventually, maybe if I got a huge channel, that would be something that would be great to do, is to go around and just drop toolboxes off to people that need them. You know, there's a lot of things I'd love to do if my channel could make that. But people got to understand that's 100,000+ subscribers to do something like that. That's the but yet you still have these channels out there that people are watching that they're not doing anything, that are 100,000+ subscribers. You know,
Yep.
Supporting the right people is what will make a difference in the end. Like, you can't judge a book by its cover until the cover gets there. I have given out so many tools, Steve, to people. Like, it is absolutely, and I don't film any of it. I find it very hard to walk up to somebody with my phone and be like, "Hey, here's a tool."
Yeah. Get their reaction. Yeah.
I absolutely cannot. And Armin made a comment on a guy's video on TikTok one day. This guy he asked the waitress for a tip. And this guy got 1 million views on this video, keep in mind. But it was 100% for TikTok views. And everybody in the comment section was just like blowing up on him. But he's like, "How much of a tip do you want?" And then he gave her a $700 tip. And everybody's like, "Oh my God, that's so nice," and everything. What has happened to people that they don't understand that he made $1,700 on that video and gave away $700? I mean, like, you're talking about a glitch in the world. If I started doing that, I bet you'd see me. It's a Mr. Beast thing. And
oh yeah, he's got 100 million now doing that.
Exactly. And people eat that shit up, but man, it's like he's not doing anything. He's making money off of that. That's not right.
Yeah.
That is not right, in my opinion. That's morally not right. And that's why I have a hard time with that. People talk about me. When people talk about me getting a free tool, and yet you got guys out there doing that shit, tell me what's really more crooked. I mean, that's deception at its finest right there. That is the devil wears Prada right there. That is all.
You're not giving it away. You're making an investment, in your channel or whatever.
Absolutely. 100. That's the big thing right there.
So I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
We're in September now, which is the month that I started uploading videos. So that was 2 years ago. And on my first anniversary, I gave away a Snap-on ratchet during a live stream. And so I'm going to be doing a live stream here when I get to Florida, whenever that is, get settled in. And I want to do a giveaway then too. I've got some ideas on what I want to do, but what do you think of the overall idea?
Okay, so after doing giveaways, I don't like them anymore. I've had too many people that come in and they give you false. There's too many people, especially the bigger you get on YouTube. There's too many people that want to get clout, and I feel like giving away stuff to people should be more about to your loyal subscribers. People that come into your chats and talk every week. And I just feel like those guys are the ones that are with you all the way. Like, and if you look in the comment sections of videos, I've said this a million times, people will talk trash. Okay, if you look at a big video, let's say Mr. Beast video, and let's say he gets 51 million views, and there's only 1,900 comments. Those 1,900 people probably come in there every single time, and they never get kicked. But they're there every single time he uploads, commenting, liking, They're the first people there that are watching his videos. To me, those are the people that are the most deserving. And that's what I want to reward is the people that are here for me. You know, like they're here to watch me and be, you know, like they're here to say, you know, and that's what I want to get back to. Those are the ones I want to get back to. So when you give away on a live stream, you risk the option of giving away to somebody who's just there for a giveaway. And that's absolutely happened. That's absolutely happened. I gave away 2 things to people on live streams, and neither one of them has ever been back.
So here's my idea. I've got the same thoughts as you. As I want to give it to my loyal audience.
Yep.
And to do the giveaway, choose the people from the comments in the live, and only allow comments to subscribers who've been with the channel for a while.
Yep,
that's what I'm thinking, because I want it to be a thank you and not a hey, look at me. You know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely. I think that's the new direction to take, and I think it's absolutely the best direction. And it invokes people to be more loyal and genuine, because the people that aren't loyal and genuine, they'll fall off. They'll definitely fall off, and you're going to see that. You probably have the people coming in there. You've probably been guys in my comment section that you've seen in your channel at times, but you know your loyal subscribers. I know people like Bill Beckett and Chef's been here for a while now, but I know guys, Frosty's been here for a while. Corey's been here for a while. I know these guys because they've been here repeatedly. I see their name, Tim Windsor, Hot Rod Dave, all these guys that have been in here. You know, I feel like I get to know these guys and see these guys, and some of them have channels, some of them don't, but they come back every week, and I pay close attention to that. I pay very close, more than people even understand. And I've heard people actually say in my live streams before, it's amazing that you remember all these people's names. I had a route with 700 customers, and I knew everybody's name and their wife.
Yeah.
Because that's how much I care about the people that I'm doing stuff with. And I absolutely will not ever change that 100%. I know these people. Talk to some of these people. They message me and whatnot. And I absolutely, as long as I have the capacity to keep up with that, they have to be repetitive to show up. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. So making sure that they're your top subscribers, that's an amazing idea.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see. I don't ever apply for any giveaways. I used to do a little bit when I was on Instagram. That was where they were giving away a bunch of stuff. I don't ever apply for them anymore. And I always tell people, if you're doing a giveaway, make sure you give it away to somebody who wants it, and or they can use it. And that's exactly it. Like, Chef was deserving to get something. Chef's due up. Chef's been through a lot of trouble. And I definitely appreciate giving something to somebody like that. It definitely makes it feel a little bit better to see somebody get something and be excited about it. I enjoy that more than anything. And the social media aspect of it doesn't mean shit to me. I know a couple kids that I gave stuff to, and every week I see them, they're always like, dude, that thing's working awesome. That thing is working fantastic. And I love hearing that. So, we got 45 people here. We have been on for 3 hours and 18 minutes now. Holy shit. Well, I haven't done any lives for a long time, and then just come back blowing into a 3-hour live stream. Friend was storing my tools. He sold them on me. That's terrible, Amlizer. I think. Oh boy! I just broke my DeWalt Impact. Oh my God! The world's gonna lose their mind.
It doesn't have that 5-year warranty either.
I think I still got. Well, no, they got a 2-year. I think I'm still under. I still got a year. I didn't break it. Oh, I did break it. Oh shit!
Oh, is that the belt clip on it?
Yeah, I never wanted it on there anyways, but it popped out of the side.
Oh man!
What a piece of garbage! That thing.
You ever get that hooked on wires or anything when you're in an engine bay?
I don't. Well, I mean, you can see the scuff marks on it.
Yeah.
I take it off a lot of times. That's probably why it broke, because I always tighten it down and take it off. But I liked it because I could hang it on the side of my cart. And I'll be honest with you, I don't use this into some deep areas. I think I have such an arsenal of stuff anymore that I can get in. That brute, that Snap-on brute is a hoss. So if I have to get something deeper in there, I just grab it. So yeah. But anyways, well, we're dwindling down here now. We're down to 39 subscribers.
People are all going to bed.
Yeah, I think it's time to probably wrap it up.
I'm gonna get on a plane tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, are you?
Yeah, that's why I couldn't make it for that steak, which I really wanted to do, but I'm just going to be flying right over the top of you.
It'd be interesting to see what thought would be of a steak from Iowa to see, but hey, it is what it is. Some other time. Hey, listen,
Some other time is right. I do want to do it.
There's going to be Steve's channel is Tool Demos. Let me put that in the link in the description real quick. You guys, Monday mornings, I'll be honest with you, I think Steve's the first channel I watch every Monday when I get up, because it's like post at like 5 in the morning for me.
Yeah. 3 a.m. Pacific. Yep.
Yeah. And he does. I always just find something in his video that is inspiring. Let me put a link in the description here. And you have 14,500 subscribers now.
That's not bad.
You're getting right up there.
That's quite a bit of people.
Yeah. So what would you like to see your channel do better on?
Every time I make a video, my goal is to become just to get a better skill at video production, to make my videos better, more watchable, less boring, more entertaining, more informative, whatever it is I can do. And, you know, like I mentioned, I'm doing 3 hours of editing sometimes for a 10-minute video. I'm just trying to give better quality videos to people. So that's all I want, really, is I want to make something that you can just flip it on and watch it, even if you don't need to know how to change a serpentine belt on a Toyota Corolla. You'll watch it anyway because they're not bad videos. And that's my goal. Hopefully I'm getting there.
I think it's just a matter of time. So when did you start your channel? A year ago?
2 years ago, yeah.
2 years ago. So you're a year behind me. You're already ahead of me in subscribers. And you make way better content than I do. And I think the biggest thing is I don't understand why you're not gaining the traction on your big videos, because I really do. This is what boggles my mind. I said this about Dudes with Wrenches. I said, man, YouTube really doesn't highlight great creators and people and don't give them credit. And I don't know what's something that, what would make you happy to know, see 1,000, 1,500 subscribers watch your videos a day?
Yeah, so that's something interesting. I've got a core group of subscribers, and this is who we were talking about before. They watch everything. You know what I mean? Like in the first week, they're always there. And then I've got a group of people who will watch anything that I make about a Toyota Tundra. So I've got a whole playlist of Tundra stuff. And then I've got a group of people who watch about the Ford and then the Corolla. So I think that's why, if you look at a video that's a week old, it's only going to have a couple hundred views on it. But the way that I make them is searchable. So if you happen to have a Toyota Corolla and you are having a problem with your serpentine belt, you type it into Google. And the way that I've set up my channel is that the videos that I make for that specific reason, that comes up in search. So when you search for that, here's just this guy from Washington, or soon to be Florida, talking about the thing that I want to know about, and then I get it, I get what I need, and then I'm gone. So I don't know how to get people to stay and keep watching, because it seems like most people are just DIYers that have a question and I've got their answer.
So I don't know the formula. I know that big search terms are what really cut Google. You know, like we talked about the hack, the YouTube hack, big search terms.
Oh yeah.
But I do know that repetitive, just being, you know, like I feel like your channel is probably once you get a video that hits, I feel like you're definitely going to gain. Like, I feel like there's easily a chance that you could put a video out and get 10,000 views in the first week, no problem.
That would be pretty amazing. Yeah.
I don't think it's not a problem at all. I think the thing about it is with YouTube is it's just all about time. I mean, I had a great month this last month. I had 450,000 views, which is, and I obviously get great views on my video. Like I said, I have a huge loyal following, like a really loyal following. They'll hit me with 2,000 to 3,000 views minimum on most of my videos, which is absolutely, I can't say enough about that. I'm very fortunate. And those guys are my core audience. A lot of them don't comment. That's the other thing is commenting is not as important, I don't believe, as the people that are loyal to watch your channel.
Just watch it. Yep.
Yeah. But I think that the thing about it is it's all about time. Like, I think your time is coming. And the other thing is, I think help from other YouTubers that like getting bigger YouTubers to recognize you, it will definitely help that a little bit. Cause I feel like we can get a couple hundred people over to watch. That'll definitely boost you in the algorithm, you know, like,
hey, I think of you as a bigger YouTuber. You know, my channel might have more subscribers or whatever, but you know, you've established an awesome audience of dedicated people. And I look up to you, you know, you're CP, the tool addict. Come on.
Well, but I look up to you because of your video quality and your content. You know what I mean? Like, that's just camaraderie there in this. No different than I do to mechanics that I know that are in my field that I look up to, like Keith DeFazio and Erico and Rayman Ray, all those guys. I look at stuff that they do. Mario Diagnostics, Super Mario. I mean, that's just good camaraderie in this industry. Looking at those people, and that's exactly what I think. Jimmy, I like watching Jimmy's stuff where he does stuff too. You know, and my biggest downfall is 100% my mouth. That's my biggest, I can't leave well enough alone to say something and that offends people. And obviously it is what it is, but that's who I am and I can't change that. I'm not going to change that. But at the end of the day,
your people and I like that you're real. You know, you're not going to sugarcoat stuff. We know where you're coming from.
Yeah, and that's it. May be limiting my audience, but it also keeps me from having to be fake. That's what I don't want to do. It's like have to just. I don't want to have to deviate from what I know. I have a lot of knowledge in the tool industry, probably way more than I do in the car industry. And I've been working with people. That's my niche, and I stick to it. I'm not a carpenter. I'm not a roofer. I'm not a plumber. And that, you know, like I try to stick to what I know. That's all I do. But it is what it is. But hopefully we get at least maybe 50 people to go over there and watch your videos, and I think they'll be addicted as much as I enjoy your stuff. I think that I'm looking forward to your adventure in Florida, and maybe this winter I might just be rolling down that way. And I could swing by and meet you.
A good place to be in the wintertime, that's for sure.
I've been there for multiple conferences back in the day, and I can tell you in January, especially, you know, Blue Monday is, right? January 20th is the most depressing day of the year.
Yeah.
My plan is to not be anywhere north of Missouri in January 20th this year. I don't want to be anywhere north of Missouri for that week because it's just obviously the snow and all that shit just gets old by the middle of January. You're already starting to think about spring. We'll have a nice day that'll spring up and it'll be 50 degrees and then it'll go back down to shit. And that's exactly what it is.
That's when the snow is gray and it freezes and melts and freezes and it's just a gray ball of ice. That's what the snow looks like on January 20th.
Yeah,
it's not that winter wonderland that it was, you know, back in November.
And people in Florida and down south take that for granted because they probably have some leaves on the trees and stuff like that. Like I've been there and I'm like, oh my God, look at that palm tree. It's so green in Florida when I was down there. You know, the grass is even green down there in Florida. And I'm like, dude, this is amazing. That people don't understand that little mental thing just boosts your what do you call that? Boost your morale. It boosts your morale just enough. So
And like your brain chemistry, your endorphins and all that kind of stuff are just they're flowing when they aren't flowing when your house is gray and you're kind of locked down because it's so cold outside.
speaking of a long-time subscriber, Dennis Rigger. Oh my God, I forgot he was even in Florida. I can't even believe he's up right now.
Oh, he's asking what part? Jacksonville. I'll be well, kind of in the south of Jacksonville.
Yeah, Dennis Rigger has literally been one of my longest time subscribers, and had multiple conversations on Instagram. That would be so cool. I forgot about that. There's so many people I could love to go meet and just go check out their shops, their toolboxes. That would be a dream come true for me more than anything. Is going to work with a guy in a shop for a day and like helping him out, that seems like the funnest thing in the world to me. I don't know a lot of people that want to go work for vacation, but I find that to be something to be fun. I think it would be great to come down, collab a video with you, helping you do some work on some stuff, and that's work. That's work involved versus go around Florida and do something like that. So, Gran Turismo.
You could go to Orlando and play with videos or whatever. But yeah, doing some work and at the end of the day, you've accomplished something that feels pretty good.
Hey, listen, Chef. You got to take it from. I'm sure Steve can give you the same advice. It ain't all rainbows and kittens when you're starting off. I don't know how long you've been into doing YouTube, and you got a little bit of a false start with a short that got you bumped up, and you were on a fly there for a while. But it's just about finding that deal. It has nothing to do with YouTube. It has everything to do. YouTube shows your video to people, and if they don't click on it, it has more to do with your thumbnails and your titles. That's your biggest two things right there. Is your thumbnails and your titles are absolutely. You got to get your thumbnail game down, Chef, and that will get people to click on it. You're not late, Peter Savinsky. What's up? Yeah, thank you, Lizer. You're one of the few loyal watchers, and I appreciate it. I watch a lot of your stuff, Chef. I don't always comment. Trust me. There'll be 7 or 8 thumbs up on there. I can promise you some of them are mine. I've watched almost every one of your videos. In fact, but I can prove to you that I watch a lot of your stuff. Here's the best proof you can get on anybody's videos right here, Chef. If you look and they've got red lines through all their stuff, like tool demos right there, you can tell that's the sure shot way of saying that you watch every video on their channel, because those red lines show up when you watch their channel no matter what. You can't fake that. So believe me, Chef, I've been watching. I didn't watch it before, but since we've been friends, trust me, I watch your videos because I always find something interesting in what you say. And I like seeing your attitude when you're positive. I think that's the biggest thing is I don't like being negative. People tell me when I'm negative. Being positive definitely invokes more views on your video. I live in Orlando, 15 minutes from Disney. Look at that. Dennis Rigner does. So,
and a lot of people live in Florida.
Florida
is a big state, and you don't even think about it really.
Dude, Tallahassee. People don't even realize people don't even realize Tallahassee, a part of Florida. There's a shitload of people that live there too. I found a couple of subscribers of mine lived up by Tallahassee. I was like, what the hell? I was like, dude, I didn't even know that you lived in Florida. And they're sending me messages, and I'm like, yeah, I live in Tallahassee. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, we were looking at, the Zillow real estate pictures, and you're talking about everything being green, and like you've got the blue sky, the green grass, and the green trees and everything. And I keep thinking, is this CGI? Like that house doesn't even look real, but that's just
Oh
what it
yeah,
looks like
especially if
down
you're
there.
living out there. You see a lot of like brown dirt, probably, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a? I gotta ask you this because I think I asked you before. I don't remember. I forgot. Do you have a shop there at your new place, or do you have to build one?
So the new place is a rental. We're waiting to buy to make sure that we're in the neighborhood that we want and stuff like that. So right now, whatever you see in the future is going to be in a 2-car garage.
Gotcha.
So that's
So
oof, man.
eventually
I'm
you
going to be
will have
moving
a
stuff
shop.
around.
Eventually you will
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
shop.
Eventually.
That's good. Yeah, everything is helping everybody out. Yeah, dude. Dude, I don't have time to comment on stuff. A lot of times I'm watching stuff while I'm working on stuff, or like I set my phone up, and a lot of times mine will play, and I'll have it sitting over here, and I'm doing something on the computer or whatnot, or I'm using my tablet. But I watch a lot of people's videos when I get time to, and a lot of times it's at night, and I fall asleep like this watching a video. That's the majority of where. But Steve's, I know I watch his because when I wake up in the morning on Monday, it's like a thing that I do. But I'm watching his video while I'm getting dressed, getting ready, and listening. And I generally don't comment. I always give a thumbs up on everybody's video. And the reason, I'll tell you what, I'm going to say this because nobody ever said this before. You heard it first here. I give a thumbs up on everybody's video, so that way I know I watched that video. And I only give a thumbs up when I watch that video. I do that so when I go back to that video, if I think I didn't watch it, then I know I watched. Oh, okay, I remember I put a thumbs up. That's the biggest reason why I use a thumbs up for a video, is because that way I know when I watched a video, I watched it. I don't ever give one unless I didn't watch it. So you can guarantee that.
Yeah, it's hard to see the red line on your cell phone sometimes.
Yeah, it is. But when and not only that, when I'm in the subscription list, when it's on my, so I don't know how you watch videos, but I have a method for everything that I do. Clearly, I have a whole system. But when you're into your subscription setting on your mobile phone, so everything comes up like that, and I'm scrolling through, and that video pops up, then I click on it. You can see what I watch right here: NHRA. I watch drag racing. And then Boosted Rides, a guy here in Iowa I watch, and these come up here. When whenever you're searching stuff, it comes up scammer alerts. That's another thing that I got to address sometime. Look, there's Midnight Road Garage. You can tell I watch these channels. Matt's Off Road Recovery, Beer Money Pulling Team. My list, but you can't see those red lines unless you do. And then you have, of course, the list across the top that you can go to the. Sometimes I don't use these that much, but when you scroll across the top, you can see these channels come up that I watch all the time: fishing, demo ranch, cars and cameras, zip ties and bias fly, all these tools. I mean, I have a whole system. I do. It's easy to watch videos when you have like a dedicated time to do it. That's what I do. So Monday mornings is easy to watch yours because I do it while I'm getting ready. Then I watch Put in Fab Shop when I get home at night on Monday. And then.
Oh, where'd CP go? I guess he must have clicked off because if you lose your signal, it just kind of goes blank. So,
Sorry about that.
Here he comes.
I accidentally.
See what happened.
Accidentally left my own stream. Anyways, to not get carried down too long-winded, but then I watch. I don't watch any YouTube on Wednesday, and I don't watch any YouTube on Thursday. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I don't think I watch any YouTube. Usually, I put out a video, and then Friday I watch. Usually, I watch YouTube videos before I go to bed. Saturday morning I watch, and Sunday morning I watch Musty One. Usually Sunday morning, that's the first thing I watch. And whatever random days everybody else comes up. I don't think everybody else has set schedules. So the people that have set schedules where I know their stuff's coming up, that's why I watch it. Setting a schedule for guys like me that like do that, I'm very oriented to that. Like that's why I watch your stuff, Steve, is because I know it's going to be there every Monday morning, like clockwork. And I'm like, when it's not there, I'm like, oh, what the hell? He didn't put out a video. And
he must be moving to Florida.
Yeah. You got a bunch of content in the work. You got a bunch of content in the pipeline, though, don't you?
I've got scheduled videos all the way through Halloween.
Really?
So, and yeah, right now they're set up to go every other Monday because of the move and all that stuff. I want to get back to every Monday like I did before. I actually had one of my viewers who lives in the Middle East. He lives in Oman, and really super cool guy. And I started going to the every other Monday thing, and he sent me a direct message. He's like, "Are you okay? I haven't seen you." So
Yep.
that's pretty cool, but really cool guy.
Dude, that's the cool thing about your subscribers. Like when I don't come on Friday lives, people definitely message me. Like that one night I fell asleep. I was so tired and I fell asleep. And Nick called me, and then we ended up talking for 3 hours on the phone.
Yeah.
It was
That's
just
funny. He mentioned that on his channel.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm just like everybody else. I got a job. You know what I mean? Like I gotta work, and I'm just like everybody else in the world. I put my pants on the same way but doing YouTube is extracurricular. The only difference between me and most other people is I feel bad for some guys because they got kids. And I know these guys want to make more content. I know for a fact I got a guy that tells me every week, man, I want to put out more videos. And I know what's holding him back is he's got his family. And I'm like, dude, don't ever put your family aside for YouTube. Do it when you can, and don't feel like you're pressured to do it, because that's the worst thing you can do. A lot of these kids, that's why they've had the opportunity to be as big as they got. It's because they didn't have anything else to do, and it's really hard for some older guys or guys with families that are established to be YouTube. And I'm a little bit guilty of that myself. I don't have no kids, and I don't have a wife. I do have a woman that I'm seeing. I don't know why I quoted that, but I do have.
Is that her pronoun?
Yeah. He, she, it, because she is the shit. You seen that? Anyways, it's extremely tough for somebody that's got a family. It's not easy for me, and I don't have a family, but I work too long. Anyways, like I don't just stop work at 5 o'clock. Usually, I go to 6 or 7 o'clock. So, but I don't have kids. But my dog gets neglected from it too. I mean, that's why he's out here with me now, is because I don't spend enough time with him a lot of times when I come home. So anyways, there you go, Hot Rod. It's hard to make a schedule and stick to it when you have kids. And I know you got kids that play baseball, Dave, and I've seen your videos where you got your boy out with you at the drag strip. And trust me, people don't get enough appreciation for these guys that have families that are doing stuff. I know you have kids too, right?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
we've got one younger daughter still at home, and then 2 adult kids.
And they got a life too that you got to be attentive for. And people give way too much credit to these younger kids because they've got all the free time in the world and they got money, and that definitely makes a huge difference in your YouTube. The advantages that you have from that are 100% better. But for a middle-aged man to be able to make YouTube videos and put his family, I can guarantee you he's working every bit as hard as those guys are in YouTube, without a doubt. I drove his truck 65 hours this week and have 3 videos to edit. I can't get to it. Exactly, Dave. That's the part of YouTube that nobody respects anymore or understands. And I definitely do understand that and see it, the frustration. I see the frustration in videos and stuff like that. I mean, you got to be in the right situation. It's just, and you do, Steve, you do it. You make what works for you, right? I mean, that's why you're doing 1 video a week. Like, you're moving now, and you're still putting out videos dedicated to that. Outrageous. I mean, I can't even imagine the kind of level of dedication it takes to do that, and people just don't understand that. I get it. I really do. So I could go on and on all night long. I'm not trying to kiss your butt or anything, but it's hard for me to express everything that I recognize on YouTube all the time. So about it, how cool it is. There's so many cool things. So anyways, guys, Steve, you got anything else in closing you'd like to say?
Well, I would say anyone who wanted to join me for a live, I don't have a date yet, but you are welcome to come. It's going to be this month. I am going to be doing a giveaway. I'd like to see everyone there. That would be super awesome. It's going to be a fun time.
Absolutely.
It's going to be not a game show, but we're going to have some games and some giveaways. I'm just going to have fun. It's going to be awesome. So I look forward to seeing whoever is willing to go there. We'll see you there.
I will be there the minute you announce it. I will help share it out for you and get you, you know.
And I haven't used StreamYard yet, but I'm thinking about giving it a try. And if I do, maybe I'll send you a link and you can jump on there with me.
Hell yeah, dude. We'll make it fun. We'll have a good time. The StreamYard's not that bad to use. It's pretty simple. Basically, I mean, it's really made for guys like me who are not technologically advanced that well with stuff. So, but I definitely think that everybody will have a good time over there if they come over to your live stream. So make sure, let me know when you do get that all set up, because I want to help you out with getting that. I want to get that set up and try to get a bunch of people over there for you. I'd like to see you get 100 people in your live stream. Live streams are a misconception in YouTube, I think, in some aspects. They are great. They're fun, but they are not how you gain. People have told me that's how I got so many subscribers from live streams. I don't believe that. I think that live streams are more for your loyal subscribers, and it's to connect with them better. Because even if you look at Vice Grip Garage or any of those guys, and they get 2,000 to 3,000 viewers in there, you have 1 million subscribers. You're not even getting 10% of those people in there. Granted, it's a shit ton of people, but live streams are really not the bread and butter of YouTube. Your videos are definitely, and I've proven that now too. I think I've shown that, like, I've had fantastic live streams. You don't get views on live streams. They're not searchable content. A lot of times something happens in them. I don't like the drama aspect of them. I'm getting more wore out with live streams. This was a great live stream tonight. Unexpected. I love this, but I thinking one a month would be better than once a week. And I don't have the time for them as much anymore neither. That's why I was wore out tonight. I just was like, man, do I want to go do a live stream? And then I've had to push them back because of summertime stuff, almost 9 o'clock. So, yeah. So, anyways.
You talk about me on Monday night or on Monday morning, but I'm always looking forward to seeing you live on Friday. So I'm glad I got the chance to be here.
Yeah, no, dude, I'm super pumped that you came on. I love having guys like you on. This is absolutely fantastic chatting. I like the like-minded mentality. I mean, just a great conversation. That's what I'm all about. I can't stress that enough. That's what makes a live stream great. And it's hard to find people that are always on that same mentality. You never know what you're going to get sometimes when you have guys on, So it's good to have you on. It was good to chat about YouTube. I'm sorry some of it was boring for some people because they're not really interested in making videos. But I think there's a lot of good information that people got out of tools. And like I said, camaraderie of YouTube, mechanics, tools. I think you pretty much nailed it to the floor on things like that. You know what I mean? Like you're not really concerned with so much as what people are using as you are the quality of work they're doing and having fun and showing those little. Your channel really doesn't focus on as much about tools, but showing tools when they're in use and get those little films with all that stuff is genius. I love it. I think it's great. I think it's absolutely fantastic. So. Anyways, I'm going to keep talking. I don't know how to end it because I'm like, what do I do with my hands now? So I'm just going to say right here, this is the end. Check out Steve, Tool Demos. Great channel. And get ready for that live stream. It'll be a fun, fantastic event. We'll all have a great time. Hopefully you make it. Yeah. Hopefully the trip to Florida tomorrow is fun. And maybe you'll get sat next to somebody that's interesting to talk to. I know that's always a journey right there. You know, talking to somebody, and when you're on the plane or meeting somebody, I always look forward to that. Never know what you're going to get. So anyways, guys, like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell, check out Tool Demos. Awesome guy. Everybody have a good night. Later.